What a weird way to start a fucking show. We had fucking great glitches going on with fucking StreamYard. Big up StreamYard. Now that I'm fucking paying for it, you fucked me. But guys, if you haven't already, before I get into the shit, please smash the likes, hit the subscribe, turn on the notifications bell so we can fuck around more on these streams and act like fucking weird fuckers. But anyway, guys, say g'day to my co-host. I'm not even going to introduce me. Fuck me. Introducing my fucking wonderful panel. I've got Fuad back in the fucking building with things to say, shits and giggles. Fuad, how you going, mate?
I'm good, bro.
You been all right?
I'm good, yeah. I'm good.
Fran?
Just enjoying the crazy ass weather.
Fran, it's good to see you again. I'm happy to have you on the yarn. Welcome.
I'm so excited. I've been watching these yarns for like over a year since they basically started. So I'm gassed to be on. I'm so excited. And hello, everyone in the chat. I recognize all of your names.
Yes. Big up the chat. Big up the chat. Kenny Ken, last but not least, I went age before beauty. Buddy, how are you? I've missed you.
No, I mean, good, you know, like I said, you've had a busy day with work, and you know, I was asking how Bodger is after the Man United Liverpool game, but then Man United are now in the semi-finals in the FA Cup, so Bodger will be happy. They're the cup team, but you know, whose position would I rather be in, Bodger's or ours? Let me think.
How long till he's in the comments trying to wind us up?
It won't take long. It won't take long. He's going to sit there and say, we're winning silverware. It's all about the silverware in the end. We don't care what silverware it is. It's just silverware. And you know what?
Steve, strictly, he's actually quite right because let's not forget, we went 9 years without winning anything. And even though we got in the Champions League, it was a pain in the neck.
Oh, fucking huge. Fucking huge. Honestly, it was like a shadow over us for so fucking long, and you were just wondering if it was ever going to happen. But hey, look, we've done it. We've broken the voodoo, the hoodoo, whatever you want to call it. And now our boys are starting to look, I don't know, they're looking kind of sexy. Like we're playing some fucking wonderful football. And I mean, it's been a remarkable season so far for me.
Mm-hmm.
69. For me, it's been phenomenal. 69 points that we've got at the moment, I think equals City's tally for the same amount of games played last season, give or take. But my question, and I think everyone's question, especially the opposing fans and even some of our own fans, is like people are wondering if we've got the cojones, the qualities. Have we proved that we've got the credentials to see this season through?
Can I go?
And you know what, Fran? I'm going to let you go for it because I know you're fucking edging for this question.
No, I'll let you finish. But when you say, like, have we got the credentials of proving that we can, I would say by past seasons, especially last season, many people would argue, like, no. We've shown that when we're in a good position, 8 points clear or whatever, like, that lead can go like that. However, this season, I started, like, very skeptical. And I think they've proven to me that they can overcome obstacles and things like that. And the way they're talking about trying to avoid what happened last year, like they're all really aware of that and are desperate for that not to happen. So I believe that, yeah, we're not going to bottle it, basically. But back to you.
I honestly, look, I'm of the same sort of vibe. And I'm not, you know, everyone says, oh, don't jump the gun. Now, I don't know about you, Kenny Ken. I know you've been watching the Arsenal for a lot longer than all of us. We've all seen the highs and lows that is Arsenal. But for me, I like to call it straight. I like to call it, you know, if it's positive, it's positive. If it's negative, it's negative. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. But when I look at Arsenal this season, apart from the cups, I look at our points tally. I look at our goals for and against. And I look at this high-flying Manchester City. And I wonder, is it doable, Kenny Ken? Does it look like that this squad, this young squad, has got the ability to see it through to the end? That's the biggest question for me. I don't know. What do you think, mate?
I don't know. Like the momentum's with us at the moment because every time like the momentum's with us, we get an international break. Before that, we had the World Cup, and then you know. But the good thing about that is that you know we've been kept on our toes and. If we keep winning games, then it's going to be impossible to catch because the fact is, Man City are coming back to their best. You know, Haaland's, you know, smashing goals. Apparently, he's got a groin problem that, may keep out a Liverpool game, but that's the sort of tales that we used to hear when I was a kid and Jack and Nori. So take that consideration. But I think the key game is going to be Anfield. I'm not saying we're going to turn up and beat Leeds and we're going to turn up and beat everyone else, but I think if we win at Anfield, then I think the squad has to believe that they are the champions elect, because simple reasons that Man City are looking for snookers. There's no doubt about it. They generally believe that we will struggle at Anfield because it's Anfield, and that they know and believe that they're all going to beat us, and they probably will. And they're probably open for Chelsea, to have a bit of London pride and try and stop us from doing it, and maybe Newcastle to be the new Newcastle. So I say it now. Anfield's the key game, because let's face it, Liverpool do not want us to win that title. It's not a case they'd rather Man City do it, but they ain't going to let us come to Anfield and take the mick. They're going to play their best team, play their best football, defend like Trojans, and attack like dragons all over the place. We ain't going to know what's going to hit us. That's going to be the test. Zinchenko's going to be tested. Benjamin White's going to be tested defence, and even off the ball, we're going to have to be clinical, because at the end of the day, Liverpool are inconsistent. But for the big games at Anfield and against the big teams, especially, they've won. Man City they beat, Man United they beat. You know what I mean? And they beat Tottenham away, and they beat Newcastle. Yeah, right. Well, no, yeah, but I'm talking about in the league though. Liverpool in the league in England. Yeah. Newcastle home and away, who are now a Big Six team, they beat home and away. So Liverpool got that in them. And with Salah still there, Gatko finding his form, Nunez coming from. Remember, they got other players to come back. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be most difficult away game. I think we're even going to find it more difficult than the Etihad, because we know what's going to happen at the Etihad. We know what Man City are doing, but Liverpool, we don't know what Liverpool's going to come. But if it's the Liverpool that I know, it'll be an achievement to get a point there.
Look, at Anfield, it's always been difficult. Anfield is not an easy place to go to. I don't know about you, Fuad, but Anfield is a difficult place. That Arsenal every time Arsenal travel to Anfield, it's been a bit detrimental to our health. But I look at this squad, I look at this team, I look at the goals that we're scoring, and like fun stats that we've had. Like I've thrown fun stats out everywhere, right? And the fun stats that I've got is that Arsenal are scoring from every part of the pitch, from defense to attack to the midfield. And I've got that running down at the bottom at the moment. I don't know, Fuad. I know you're always fucking a kind of guy that's jumping for joy and ready to rumble and saying, yes, Arsenal this and Arsenal that, and Arteta this and Arteta that. But in all honesty, do you think we can see this through? And do you believe that Liverpool are going to be a stumbling block? Because, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. There ain't no pushover. Going forward, these guys transition very quick. I haven't seen a team transition from defence to attack that quick. I think they're the quickest.
I'm going to go, all right. To be honest with you, with Liverpool and Arsenal, it's one of them things where they've always had the upper hand in the last few years. They've always beat us, especially when Klopp's been there. But one thing, going into Anfield this season, all right, I am a bit confident, because Liverpool, like, to me, they're like Pipe Bowler FC. They'll win 7-0 one day and lose 1-0 the other week. But it depends what Liverpool turns up at Anfield. But last season, when they had Mane and they had Salah and they had their strong team, I was in Anfield. And one thing about Arsenal, for the first 45 minutes, we actually settled ourselves well in Anfield. And we even hit him on a counter. And Lacazette, if he would have timed his run, if he would have timed his run better, we would have took the lead 1-0, even though we were defending. So, and that was last season with that coach of players. So, when we went to Anfield last season, even though we lost 4-0, okay, even though we lost 4-0, I was at the game, and a lot of Arsenal fans, when they come on YouTube, like a lot of Arsenal fans had a massive meltdown. But the fans who were actually there last year at Anfield, we made our mistakes for them to score. Like, you don't come out of being, you don't give Sam Manning a free header. They watch the ball, instead of challenging it, the two centre halves, you just see Manning put it in the back nick. I was right there. The other one was when you're trying to play it out, Tevez, you pass the ball to Mohamed Salah. You pass the ball to Salah, and then bam, 2-0. So If they go there now and they've learned off their mistakes, like I said, last year for 45 minutes, we held Liverpool and we hit them on the counter and we took a lead, but Lacazette was offside. If they can go there and show Liverpool that respect and go there and know Liverpool are a big team, no, oh, they haven't been well this season. No, go there and show them their respect, that Arsenal gets something out the game. If they go there thinking, we're going to turn up and smash Liverpool, they ain't going to win the game. You got to show, they got to go there with our mentality, showing Liverpool respect. Because look what happened with Man United. Man United are gassed up by every fan base. And what happened? They went to Anfield, and all fan base was saying, Man United are going to win the league. I told you guys in December, Man United is going to win the league race. I said it in December. When Man United went there, all fans, watch what they do, Man United. Bro, Liverpool said, what? Bam, 7-0. Shut your mouth. Stay in your lane. You're not good enough to win the league. You're not good enough to compete. 7-0. So Arsenal got to go there, bro. Show them respect. Show them respect.
I think that's. You made a good point. I think talking about like it's just the mistakes. I think if we can go there, not even play like totally different to how we normally play, but just if they focus on like let's not make stupid mistakes, then I think we can get it done. With our midfield, like probably doing better than theirs and stuff. Just don't mess it up. Don't give the ball away. Don't give them the opportunity. And I think we've seen in lots of games, although we still have that mistake in us, we've seen in lots of games, especially towards the beginning of the season, that we were tight in defence, we were concentrated, and just recently it's been a bit more lax. So hopefully the international break, they'll be like tightening that down again and kind of working with the set piece coach. And hopefully those mistakes can kind of be stamped out because I think they know about them too. So
big verge in the air. Big verge in the air is a problem. Because at the moment, Arsenal are conceding goals left, right, and centre from corners. But before I get into that, Kyle Walsh, Gunner, how are you, my man? You're right. I know you had a few. I know you had a bit of a hard night with Del Boy, and I know you've probably just woken up. Guys in the chat, big up yourselves in the chat. Big up, Kyle Walsh, Gunner. Hangover mode initiated on the yarn.
Steve, all I can say is, what a nice. That's all I can say.
Fucking hell.
I always knew Del Boy was a bit on the wide side, but my God, unbelievable scenes last night. And not only that, about 12:15 last night, I walked into a pub with Del Boy, went to the bar to get 2 drinks, turned around with Del Boy's drink. Del Boy was starting to do the disappearing act. 12 hours later, I'm only literally out of bed, and we're still outside of Del Boy. So I don't know what's happening. I may go looking for him out after this, because we're supposed to meet again at 1 o'clock today after the yarn.
Oh my God.
God knows where he ended up. So, guys,
I have no idea. I'm after texting him, I'm after ringing him. I don't know where the fuck he is.
Guys in the chat, Del Boy has gone missing. If you guys are in and amongst the mix, you spot him, you sight him, let Kyle know on Instagram that you found him, that he's okay, even if he's just laying in a gutter.
And that's the worst. Actually, don't let me know because I don't really want to see him. Because if today is going to be anti like yesterday, oh my God, that's all I can say.
It's fuck off settings. Fuck off settings from Kyle Walsh, Gunner. But Kyle, we're talking a little bit about Arsenal at the moment, and we're talking about, well, we jumped into do Arsenal have the credentials? Do they have the credentials and the qualities to see the season through, to win the league? And the key point the boys were making was the Liverpool game. And I can see how that's an important game. I understand Liverpool ain't an easy place to go. Anfield, fuck that. I'm the kind of guy that'd be happy for a point there because I know even Manchester City are going to struggle. But I don't know about you. Do you think this Arsenal squad right now, what you can see, what you've seen, have sort of, made a bit of an impact and have actually stated their claim to the title? Or are you thinking that there's just not enough quality in this team and that it's just a matter of time before, see you later, alligator, it's been nice knowing you?
No, I think they have the quality. They're out to prove it this season, and they're out to proving me wrong. And I'm here, I can pull up my hands and say, thank God to prove me wrong, because this is all I've ever wanted. But there is 10 games left. And I know we don't have to win the full 10 of them.
But the thing is, these are all cup final games now. So it's going to be a different feel going into each game now. As each game goes by, Steve, we're going to feel a lot more pressure. Because we haven't been in this position under Arteta. Never mind the last 19 years, but under Arteta, we haven't been here before. And we haven't been here before with this current team either, these current players. So the mentality has to be right. And it has to be now or never. And we have to win each game as a cup final, feed the nerves, but say, this is it. If we want to win the league title, we have to beat the best to beat the best. Now, is it true? Kenny Kane might know this. Is Saliba out for 6 weeks, Kenny Kane?
I've no idea. It's just mixed messages I'm getting. There's been no dates been put on his return at all. All it is that they wouldn't let him join up with France because they wanted to keep precautionary. But I wouldn't be surprised if Rob Holding's line up alongside Gabriel for the Leeds game, and then we got to take it from there. But it's a shame that we can't see Kivior in that position because Kivior was left-footed and Arteta likes to play one right-footed and one left-footed defender. So we don't be surprised if Rob Holding's playing, and if he's playing at Anfield, don't be surprised as well.
Yeah, and I think that's where we could stumble because Rob Holding is not good enough. He's just
against Leeds. Against Leeds.
No,
against Leeds.
Against Liverpool, Steve. If he goes into that Liverpool game, I know it's all ifs and buts, but if he ends up, if the rumours are true and Saliba's up for 6 weeks and Rob Holding goes in there, we're going to struggle against Liverpool. We're going to struggle against any quality team because Rob Holding is not good enough. So that's where I am at the moment. I think we're at the proving that we're good enough. Now let's go into these games and show that we're good enough. And that's where I am. I really hope that at the end of the season, I'll be saying to my friend there, Prince, you were spot on all throughout the season, man. But I still have my doubts, Steve. That's where I am.
Ooh. Yeah, but I'll give you a bit of something on Rob Holding, all right? Rob Holding, all right, Rob Holding is not a fan's favourite. But one thing he's good at, and it's proven time and time again, in a big game, he steps up. He stepped up in 2 finals. And he's won 2 FA Cups with Arsenal. A lot of the fan base, what they do, they delete that, they isolate that out of their opinion. Oh no, forget that. And he's crap. He is actually a good player because for him to be at Arsenal, we've got to bear in mind 2 FA Cups. His name's Rob Holding. If his name was Robin Holdenen or Robin Holderdini, people would love him. And we bought him for 2 million. He could do the job, but I got some news anyway. Apparently, they say Saliba was out only left for 2 weeks. That's what they said, 2 weeks. People are saying 6. But I think Mikel Arteta said it's either up to 2 weeks. Up to 2 weeks, he said. So I think you're going to see Rob Holding back with a jersey with Leeds game. It's the same with Trossard. Everyone thought Trossard was out for 6 weeks. And what happens? My man just turns up. I think it's one of them ones, Kyle. So don't have your panics here.
Prince. You're my brother. Well, my God, man. How can you sit there, man, and say that Rob Holding is a good player?
Holdendinho.
Yeah,
He's
because
absolutely brutal.
No, because we threw him in the deep end of the cup. You know when you go in the FA Cup final, you're there at Wembley.
Prince. And if we have to rely on him now, you may forget about it.
Yeah, but you've relied on him in 2 FA Cup finals, and he's won.
Prince, that's in the past, but we're talking about now.
Yeah, but he's under a better manager now. You got to bear in mind, Carl. You guys got to bear in mind. You guys thought all these 11 players wasn't good enough, and if they win the league, to me, they are good enough, and they proved every one of your fan base wrong.
We haven't seen much of Holding this season at all, and he came in, stepped up the other day when we called on him when Saliba was out. So I would say let's wait and see because he's been training behind the scenes all year with this team, and maybe Arteta's tweaked things and got his head right. So for me, it's wait and see, prove the doubters wrong. Holding quite a lot of players have. So as you say, just gotta wait. Come on, Holding.
Look, Look, I'm not keen on Rob Holding. Don't get me wrong. He's not the worst player in the world. And I'm not going to write him off like he's a Mustafi. It ain't like for like. He's not William Saliba. We're not Manchester City where Nathan Ake and Laporte could sit on the bench and they'd be fine. We're not that team. But that goes the same for Liverpool. Look at them. Joe Gomez, fucking 1 minute. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke. Even Man United have their problems. Chelsea have their problems in defense. No team really has a backup centre back that's like for like quality of the starting 11. So I think that's where the argument is with Rob Holding. I'm not saying he's phenomenal, but as like paper patching, we're going to have to, unfortunately, play the guys that we've got. But doesn't it, you know what, look, you know what this reminds me of? You know, just before international break. Now, I know Rob Holding's come off, and Saliba's come off, and there could be injuries, an injury concern. Doesn't it sound a little bit like the old days of Sir Alex Ferguson? You remember when Alex Ferguson was really common in telling his players just before an international break, can you just fake an injury, blah, blah, blah. Can you extend it so that way we can fucking focus on the league? And their players would do it. I mean, I believe Haaland at the moment, he's doing a Sir Alex Ferguson, my groin. I don't know about, you know what I'm talking about, Kenny Ken? Do you remember back in the day, Fergie was it was obvious that Fergie was doing it to some of his boys where he just wanted them to just really commit to the league. And he'd be telling him to fake an injury or this and that just so he can get him out of international duty. I believe that could be true.
He's a tourist. How many games did Ryan Giggs miss for Wales? He's probably missed more games than he had to play for him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He was, you know what I mean? And it's other times the English players. You know, you Man United players always talk about how dismal they found playing for England, and I think it's down to their manager. So Alex created this Man United thing where it was us against the world. So when they went in English duty, they were just like a little clique. It was the Man United, you know, they were the ones who created all those cliques. So yeah, and I think nowadays managers now probably got the ump with too much international football, and I think UEFA have, you know, annoyed even more managers because they've made the League of Nations, like I said, a tournament now. So they're making sure that, you know, that teams have to take it seriously. So again, there's no such thing as international friendlies no more, and I think it's all to do with getting the small associations money. But Premiership managers are going to put themselves first, put their clubs first in the results, and that's the thing. This season, you know, it's been terrible for players. You think about it, we've had to have a shorten midwinter breaks of the World Cup. Then we've got the qualifiers, and then the FA Cup finals on the 3rd of June, isn't it? So it's a long season. So they've got to come first. International football, I'm a big fan of it. I love it. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, they've got to get together and, you know, try and sort this out. But at the end of the day, if Saliba's got to put Arsenal first before France. Simple.
I hate to say it. Honestly, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm league over nation all day. He's contracted to Arsenal Football Club. Do you know what I mean? Dollars and cents world. Unfortunately, it's your job. It's fun, but it's your fucking job. You got to take it fucking seriously. I don't know. Like, to be perfectly honest, I got a feeling that we're probably going to see Saliba back for the Liverpool game. And I reckon Haaland, I don't know if you guys agree with me. I think there's nothing wrong with Haaland. I think Haaland's 100%.
Haaland's fit, 100% fit. Haaland's there, just like Rashford. He's fit, man. He's there drinking his McDonald's, whatever you want to call it, bro. He's chilling, bro. I mean, my man's saying he's fit. Haaland's 100% fit, man.
He did it. Didn't Pep do it like before our game, saying Haaland might be out? And Pep does do the mind games. But who knows? Hopefully he's out. Not to wish Ella but
what I'm excited about, though, do you know why I'm so confident? Do you know why I'm confident? Do you know what? Because I believe in these players, and the main man is going. This time we got the main man fit for the second half of for the last 10 games. And that main man, people can have a favorite, is Thomas Partey.
I thought you were going to say Jesus, man.
Nah, Thomas Partey is the main man. Do you know when he steps in Anfield? Okay. When he steps in Anfield and Henderson looks at him, he says, "Yes, you're with the Nigerian. You're with the where is he from? Ghana, isn't it? You're looking at the Ghana nightmare, bro. Every midfielder is scared of him. This guy is immense. I don't care what people say about all the season, all this. The reason why we're here now, Jesus was out, is because of Thomas Partey. If anyone, and that's a fact. Every Arsenal fan, remember, long as Partey's there, walk with your chest up. because Henderson, they can't cope with him. What's the other midfielder? Fabinho. When they see Thomas Partey, they're like, yo, nah, not today. And Man City, same thing. What?
It's going to be a midfield battle. It's going to be a midfield battle against Liverpool. And you know what? They don't have a midfield right now. They really don't. Hendo, Fabinho, Chiesa, Firmino is a
plays for them.
Sorry?
Is it Milner? Does he play for them?
Yeah, Milner's one of their best players. He's 107, but he's a great player for him. I swear, James Milner.
To be fair, we won't have to worry about it's kind of the battle of both aging midfields. If we've got Xhaka and it won't be rapid midfield, I guess. But I may be that.
No, I don't think. Honestly, I think that battle in midfield.
I listen to a lot of Liverpool podcasts and podcasts from every club, and they hate their midfield at the moment, and they just think it's an absolute joke. That it wasn't that it's not being improved, and they think that their owners are just letting the squad decay. So they're not in the most positive place.
No, with a midfield like that, it's going to be fucking interesting. But it will be. I think the famous Anfield atmosphere is going to be a big deal when it comes to Arsenal. Going there is not going to be easy, and it could make or break our season. And it all depends on, even with Manchester City facing them, it's not like it's a walk in the park. And Manchester City have struggled against Liverpool, so let's just hope Liverpool can do us a favor, because right now, remember, they're playing for top 4. And can you imagine, guys, feel me on this. They haven't spent much money when they won the Premier League. They didn't spend much money when they won the Champions League. They're not winning nothing this year. And if they don't compete, and if they don't make top 4, I can't see FSG spending a cent. I don't know about you, Kenny Ken, but is it dire straits for Liverpool? Because if they don't make top 4, can you see FSG even spending a cent?
Well, the thing about it is that they still have the money, and I think they're trying to get investment anyway. But they can have the money, but who's going to come to Liverpool if they're not in the top 4? That's the reality of the situation there. Liverpool, having Klopp as a coach is just not enough. Some players, they just want to play in the Champions League. And if you take away Liverpool's, strange game against Real Madrid, 9 out of 10 times, Liverpool normally gets to the final. So they've had a good tournament, but Liverpool in the Europa League, I don't know, man. The thing is, they are going to need investment. They are going to need investment to try and not only just get back in the Champions League, but to actually try and challenge for honours again. So that they'll spend money, but it's getting good players to come to them. That's going to be the issue.
They've been stuck on this stupid Bellingham thing for donkeys, because they know they need a midfielder, but they need more than just one midfielder now. You remember when in Arsenal, it was always one player that we needed after, the golden age, 2004, 2005. It was one or two players we needed, and we only ever got half. And then we got a quarter of a player in Seagan, and Sendros was like a 10% of a player. And it just got worse, right? And but by the time we got to 2009 and 10, we needed a fucking squad. And it's looking like Liverpool right now needed one midfielder. They never replaced Wijnaldum. Right, they needed one midfielder. Now they need 2. Now they need 3. Now they need a defender. They look like a team right now that need 5 players? Mm-hmm. Let's be honest, 5 players, because Trent AlexanderArnold's a shit show. I was talking about him last season. Look at him now. I'm gonna love Martinelli against Trent. That's gonna be fucking sexy, just like it was the first time. I can't wait for that. I think Trent's gonna be fucking. I think our.
He won't play. He won't play Trent again. He won't play Trent against us. I can tell you.
Oh no! Why?
He'll play Gomez instead of It'd be a fool to play Trent against us. It'd be an absolute idiot, pork chop, if he plays Trent against us. No way is he going to do it. Klopp's not stupid.
You reckon? Do you guys reckon he won't play Trent? He's fucking stupid.
Klopp has lost his mind a little bit this season. He's not quite.
He's not quite Klopp.
He's not quite Klopping. But.
He's not quite Klopp. Now, there's another question I had, right? And this is going to go to now. I know this is going to ruffle a few feathers, and And the one person that should be in the building for this one is Fuad. And he's had to leave the stream for a few minutes, so he gets to miss out on this one. This is one that I'd really enjoy. Other fan base at the moment, I want to put this out to everyone. Anyone wants to jump in on this, right? Other fan base coming to terms right now. Are they coming to terms right now that this guy, Mikel Arteta, might be the right man for Arsenal moving forward? Now, bear in mind, we all know the statistics after 100 games. And that's not fucking bad for a novice in comparison to the great Arsene Wenger. I don't know. Do you guys think that on the present run of form and what we've seen this season, are we starting to see a shift where the fan base, look, I'm not, but the fan base was once Arteta out, and now saying, you know what? Arteta may be in. Maybe Arteta for the future. Because don't forget, I mean, when we look at Arsene Wenger's win-loss record and after 100 games, the win rate percentage is not much different. There's only 1% in it. Don't get me wrong, Mikel Arteta has lost more games than Wenger, but Arsene Wenger had drawn so many. Now, I don't know about you guys, but is this bloke Mikel Arteta, this fucking novice who's starting to learn on the job? And the guys in the chat, let me know. Is this the manager for the future? Or is this guy is this guy just going to be around for another 2 years and then he's out?
Can I go if no one else is going? I absolutely think yes. I'm at the very yes end of the spectrum. For me, he is the manager of the future. I'd like to see him carry on because I believe if he does stay, the rate at which he learns and improves game by game. I was such a doubter. I was kind of like, oh, this guy's just, it's not really working, but we're not going to get rid of him. The owners are obviously in it, so let's just see. And then as each year went on, especially last year, you could see like little sprinkles of promise, like little moments of gameplay, some really good link-up play, and you're thinking this could be something. And then I think this year has been what we thought it could be, through those little moments and stuff. And just the year-on-year improvement in the last 2 years. The first couple, he was just kind of getting his grip. And for me, I just think the way he's unified the fans in the stadium and the players and got the feeling around the club back, that is so fragile. I think that's a really difficult thing to do with how fractured this fan base has been and how dead the vibe around the place was, apparently. So for me, loads of other reasons as well. I'll probably get into it, but my take is yes, basically. Cut a long story short.
Mikel Arteta is the coach for the future. He's a man that we're going to see for a lot longer. Now, I'm going to you know what? I'm not going to go to Fuad because I know what Fuad's going to say. We all know what Fuad's going to say. Fuad's going to say Mikel can come stay at his house. He can do all that. No. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go chat to. I want to go chat to Kyle. Kyle. Mikel Arteta, is he winning this fan base over? Seriously, is he starting to win them over? I mean, we're starting to see some young players that are really starting to grow. Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, they're starting to show some qualities. And don't forget, the gaffer. That's Mikel Arteta. I don't know. Is this guy for the future, or is this guy going to be gone in 2 years? Do you see this guy hanging around? Do you think he should hang around?
First of all, Steve, I'm one of the fans that never wanted him in the first place.
Me too.
And he came in and he took over, and I just couldn't believe what Arsenal was doing at that particular time. Then 3 months later, we lifted up the FA Cup. So he started off on a good note there with the FA Cup. But then, Steve, what followed was absolute disgrace in my eyes. The club finishing 8th twice, then 5th. And especially last year. 3 games to go, we could have got Champions League football, and we blew it. And I said to myself, that's it. Don't want to see this man anymore. But he came back, and in fairness to him, 2 things he did, by the way, that I will always big him up for. Getting rid of poison out of our club and bringing in new mentality into the club. He got rid of Ozil, who's a disgrace of a man, by the way, and he got rid of another disgrace, and that's Aubameyang.
Yeah.
And Lacazette, by the way, as well, had to go. So he did great there, get rid of that poison. So now we had, all of a sudden, we got rid of that mentality. We brought in new mentality this season. And you have to give him credit where credit is due. he's after exceeding expectations by, like, there's none of us here would have thought that Arsenal would be on top of the league table going into April. It's a brilliant achievement. And we're playing good football. And he's after turning the fan base. And Kenny Kane will be number one here about the fan base because he goes to all the games. And there's a new atmosphere in the ground. You can feel it. I'm sitting here today and I can feel that there's a different change, a different mentality that I'm always talking about, a winning mentality. And every time I doubted Arsenal this season in the Premier League, they have come back and proved to me by winning. So, fair play to him, Steve. But, and there's a big but. For me, personally speaking, he has to win the league title now.
Yeah.
If he don't win the league title now, he ain't going to win it next season. I guarantee you he won't. So what is like, my whole thing is, what are we doing here as a fan base? If he does not win the league title, and we say we finish second, like, we're going to all come around and say, oh, well, we have to give him next season. Look what he's at, no, we're finished second. So, right, let's give him next season. Let's give him another transfer window. Now, next season comes, and at the end of next season, we finish third. We finish second. We don't win anything again. So we're going to sit here on your channel this time next year and say the same thing. Oh, is Arteta one for the future? When is enough enough? When do we call him out for failure? If he does not win the league, it's failure, Stephen. We have no Europa League, no FA Cup, no League Cup. We disrespected them, in my opinion, and we put all our eggs in the one basket, and that's to win the Premier League. And if we finish second, and the shower down the road, Tottenham Hotspur finishes fourth, just for talk's sake. Well, my question to everybody is, what's the fucking difference? And by the way, if we do get second, and this top four bullshit that we have to listen to, we couldn't beat Sporting Lisbon over 2 games. Never mind the top teams in Europe and Champions League football. It's a different animal altogether. So you have to ask questions. So I'm not 100% convinced yet, Steve, is my answer to you. Have to win the title now. If not, I will be pulling on him.
Okay. You agree, Kenny Ken, eh? Do you agree? Because I can see Kenny Ken, he's there with him. Sorry, Fran.
No, what I'm trying to say is that he's, Cole's 100% right. The atmosphere is different. Our away fans are the best in the country. I say it without any shadow of doubt. I'm not because I'm biased. Yeah. I haven't been to an away game where I haven't felt at home and I haven't enjoyed myself. Boy, you know this. Our away fans this season, every time, I was at Fulham, I was at Leicester. I've been alive with a few away games, and I'm going to go West Ham next. So, but the atmosphere at the Emirates is different now. It's really, really different. Before games, you go into like, Block 5. There's like a singing section where people are late before they go into the game because they're singing the songs. So they really got this kind of belief in what's going on. There's a few people who are not convinced by it. I'm with you and Kyle. I didn't want this man in the job. The fact is that he's only got one job for me, and it isn't. Winning the league is the icing on the cake. I want standards to me, Lee, and Jez. We're part of the Rat Army. The reason why we're part of the Rat Army and that we're hated is because we want the standards. I've had enough of this top 4 thing. As long as Mikel Arteta challenges for the title and learns from this and gets us challenging again, then 2 things he needs to do. For a start now, I want this top 4 mentality to stop at Arsenal. It's over now. The process is gone now. All right?
Yeah.
Don't come at these bollocks. Trust the process. It's over now. Yeah. Because by us challenging and get with 10 games to go, 8 points ahead of Man City, albeit with City having a game in hand, and they're probably going to have another game in hand after they get into the semi-finals. This is it now. You're ready to, as far as I'm concerned, Arsenal are open for business. You are open to challenge for the title now. All right? So if you don't get it this season and you get to the last day, I'm going to say, right, next season, I don't care whether Liverpool, Chelsea rebuild. Doesn't matter. You shouldn't have them, because of what you've done this season, you shouldn't have an inferiority complex. So I want top 4 players that we have at the club to be got rid of and get the better players to attract them, because they are going to come to Arsenal now, because Arsenal are open for business. That's Mick Arteta's job. He does that. I'm going to take it as a go-to basis. I didn't want him in the job. I'm still unconvinced by him. But one thing about it is that I do agree with kind of things he's done. I agree with the Tierney, Shevchenko thing up to a point, because I understand what he's trying to do. I understand the situation, his tactics. And, you know, Fuad is right. Thomas Partey is their team. Thomas Partey is the best player in the league. All this old Xhaka is our midfield, please. Go and jump the Leighton with that one. Without Thomas Partey, Xhaka don't perform. Without Thomas Partey, Odegaard don't perform. In fact, all these players who've got license to get on the attack is because of Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey should be Player of the Year. When I read back Player of the Month and I don't hear his name, and I look at Player of the Year and they're not even mentioning his name, Jesus Christ, what are you watching? Without him, nothing. So basically, the way I look at it with Mick Arteta, buy players who are going to help us win the league. Buy players who are going to help us win the Champions League. I don't want any top 4 idiots. If anyone's not good enough at this club, if you're as ruthless enough to get rid of the dead wood, i.e. people you don't think share your values, whatever you call it, right, get players not good enough. So if Rob Holding isn't good enough, but he's done us well, he gave him a medal. Thanks, Rob, for you've done. But now I need something better. And every player's up for spots, except for Thomas Partey, that is, because Thomas Partey's the alpha and omega in that team. And obviously, Saka and Odegaard. And, you know, Martin, all right. But, you know, certain players, if you're not good enough, you're not going to take us to that level, challenging internally or winning the Champions League, off you go, mate. That's his job. That's all I want from him.
Cutthroat. You want that cutthroat Mikel Arteta that we've seen previously. And I kind of agree with you here, Kenny Ken, where you can see progress. And then look, winning the league, well, doesn't get any better than that. That isn't progress. That's wonderful. We drop out of the winning the league. We come in second. I know it's not winning the league. I know it's second position, but that is progress from where we've been. But you want the intent. You want to see him say, fine, we slipped up now. And then you want the serious attitude going into the transfer window and with the team moving on to the next season. And if it means we've won the league this season, we should be trying to win it the next. Fran, you've got something, have you?
I have my hand up for like 5 minutes.
Sorry, go.
Kenny Ken is speaking absolute facts. But for me, I agree with Lone Wolf in the comments. I think to me, Arteta has proven that he's got the attitude and the determination, the ambition. He's overachieving with, I think, the players that have been brought in. A lot of them we can say aren't like top class players. They're like just one level below. And for me, he's proven that he can do it. And if we just miss out, I'm not putting pressure or blame on Arteta, I'm putting the pressure on the Cronkies to deliver him his top choice targets, not the second choice, not the player for the future. I want to see, I know that Arteta's got the ambition, but I want to see the ambition from the owners. I think they've been a little bit lucky, if anything, like going for these like cheaper options, and Arteta's worked miracles making them like play out of their skins, basically. So we need to see serious action and put serious pressure on the owners. Say, look what this manager's done this season with this bunch of players, where none of them are arguably, we haven't bought in like top players, really, have we? Like looking at, say, like your Osmans or players at the level of Vinny Jr. You guys know that kind of level. Your Bellinghams. We're never in that conversation. I want to see the owners showing the amount of money they have, not going for these cheaper options, backing Arteta because he can do it. He wants to do it. I think he gets more annoyed than any of us when his first targets don't come through. So for me, even if he does miss out, I think with what he's achieved and stuff, obviously, like that's a whole conversation if we do miss out. But I think the pressure goes on to the Cronkies then.
I couldn't agree with you more with pressure onto the Cronkies, because at the end of the day, if they want their boy to do well, then they got to back their boy. They have to. And they haven't done it with previous managers. What they've done now with Mikel Arteta is given him a little smidgen of what Arsenal can afford to do. It's only a smidgen. Arsenal can afford to do a lot more. But we need to see more of it. And you're spot on. You're spot on. I can see where Kyle's coming from. I understand it. You want success. For me, I don't want it to end up at Arsenal where, and I think we can all agree that Mikel Arteta has built a team and a style of football, right? That's exciting to watch, that gets results. And then if you see you later, i.e. Pochettino at Tottenham, in comes the Mourinho, the whole thing goes to shit and we have to get players in to change the system and yada, yada, yada.
And
I think the system
the atmosphere goes around the ground.
That's out the window. That'll be out the window.
Yeah, but
That'll
lads, you're missing the point there.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying, Steve.
Yeah.
About if we got rid of him, that the atmosphere would change and we'd have to rebuild and blah, blah, blah. And that's all true and that's all facts. But the question I have to ask is this.
Mm-hmm.
If he fails to win the league this season
mm-hmm.
and next season he's in charge and he fails again and there's no trophies coming back to the Emirates,
mm-hmm.
he has to go down. So obviously then we have to get used to that change.
Different story, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
different story then.
Or next year. Because if he fails, I'm one of these lads, Steve. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be honest about it. I'm one of these lads. And you know what? We had this conversation 1,000 times between us that if we don't succeed this season, I want a lot of change happening. And it has to come from the top all the way down. But if not, and if we back this manager for next season, that's okay. Fair enough. I'll jump on that train. But if he fails next season, I don't want to hear any more excuses. I don't want to hear, we give him next season. Do this. Out the door with him. So he has to win the league this season. For me, that's just.
But Arteta, do you know one thing he's done? One thing about you know. All right, listen. You know, Mikel Arteta, he's done stuff that people like don't even know recognize what he's doing. I know Arteta is a winner. You can see he's a winner, bro. He has got this team firing. But one thing Arteta is clever. He's a really intelligent man because he's been under Wenger, he's been under Guardiola, he's been under the manager from Paris Saint-Germain back in the 90s. So he's been under a lot of people. So he knows football.
Hang on, you haven't mentioned David Moyes. You think we're stupid? I
was just all right. And he's been under David Moyes.
I've got you on a string, mate. I knew you were going to miss that David Moyes.
And he's been with David Moyes. I'll give him now, right? David Moyes. But one thing about Mikel Arteta, I like Mikel Arteta, what he's done this season is, I know, and I believe he's going to win the league. But one thing he's done, he's put a value market on the players who are rubbish. That's what he's done. Actually, like Eddie and Nketiah, maybe the fan base might not rate him. But it's going to be a second-tier team's going to think, you know what? I'll pay 20 million, 30 million for Eddie and Nketiah.
Eddie will pay to get rid of him.
Yeah, no, but it's true though. What he's done. Listen, Eddie and Nketiah.
Need some cash in the case.
Yo, I'm gonna put a question to the panel. When was the last time Arsenal could have dropped top four? Could have lost top spot? All right,
mm-hmm.
Could have lost top spot, and Man United were on their asses. Man City were on their asses. And we played Tottenham and Man United, so much pressure in that game. But when was the last time Arsenal come through that pressure? You got to answer that question. Because we didn't even do it for top four.
Yeah. No, we didn't do it for top four.
So I'm going to say this. If I'm a manager now, a football manager, this is the football world, not YouTube world, football world. There's going to be a manager out there who's going to say, I'll take Eddie Nketiah for 15, 20 million. I'll take Rob Holding for 15, 20 million. So he has actually put a value on them players that we don't rate.
Luke.
Yeah, but
because
Eddie doesn't sell players. Eddie doesn't sell players. He's terrible.
No, but they will sell. No, but now they will. There's a value there. If Robert Holding ain't good enough, you want Newcastle? Do you want him? Take him. Because Eddie Howe wants him. It doesn't matter what we want. It's what the football was. Eddie Howe wants what is number one defender was Rob Holding. You want him? Take him. But then Arsenal, it's down to the club to go and buy better players.
Yes. Yeah.
Are they going to do it? Because then players got values. It doesn't matter what we think. If they win the league, they've all played a part in it. And you all can remember Jesus has been injured for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a value. Doesn't matter what you think, I think. There's going to be people out there in the professional world who are levels higher than this and levelers who say, you know what? I'll take him for 20 million. I'll take him for 15 million. But it's down to the club then to say, are we going to spend our money on world-class players? Are we going to go and buy a Declan Rice for 70 million?
I hear what you're saying.
70, you wouldn't get him for 70. But anyway.
I hear what you're saying, but like,
70.
I hear what
He's
you're
got
saying.
a Woolworths on a
And I'll
special.
remind you all in the summer. When we win the title, I'll remind you all in the summer.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying about them needing to bring in players, but we need to have a discussion at some point about the outgoings because Edu is like an absolute shambles with that. Did you hear that we might be paying today news or yesterday? We might be paying to get rid of Nicolas Pepe. So
I'd pay. I would pay to get. I would pay to get rid of Nicolas Pepe. I just don't want to fucking.
Come on, we need to.
He's fucking wrecked. That was a fuck up.
Everybody, and I'm going to say this, everybody hyped Pepe to be the next Coleman. He's a football genius. He's this, he's that. Not fucking good enough. Goodbye, good riddance. Good luck to you.
Yeah, but
people say that's harsh, Kyle, and he wasn't given a proper chance and all the rest of it. If you're good enough, you play. He wasn't good enough. Ain't the story.
Yeah,
I agree with Kyle. He was lazy too. I agree with Kyle. He was lazy. I used to watch him play. Kenny, how lazy was he? Be honest, wasn't he lazy as a player?
I have to admit, technically, he's the best player we have at the club. He's got more he's got better technique than everyone in that team. Let's not have that. But the fact is that the fact is that I used to watch games home and away last season, and Mick Arteta used to just be having a go at him, get there, berating him, especially when we were off the ball. And I think, I know a lot of people liked Pepe and they thought his numbers was good when he did play, but I just looked at the managers. I just said I used to discuss it with within mates, with Jez, with Lee, and everyone. I just say, mate, you know what? I know how much we admire Pepe, but he ain't lasting, mate. I'm telling you now, I've seen it with my own eyes. The manager smashes him. And I mean, smashes him. I remember one time with Pepe, and that was even before Arteta got there, when we Unai Emery. Do you remember the Watford game where we were 2-0 up and we drew 2-2, where apparently we let in 32 shots? I was at that game. And I know Pepe was new to the team, but I looked at him when he came on the field and I just thought, oh my God, there was like no work rate. He couldn't, he was holding the ball too long, and Watford, player was just running past him, and that's how they got back in the game. And I went, oh, he's only new. Although I criticised him, I basically hit him over the head with a cricket bat. I battered him, but I thought that was going to improve, and it just hasn't. It didn't improve. There was a bit of a, with the FA Cup run, when we won it, where there was a bit of partnership with him, Lacazette and Aubameyang, where they had that little bit of triumvirate, and they played wing backs as well with. With Maitland-Niles, I thought that we turn a corner. Then Arteta probably still just thought, you know what, I think if you look at the epitaph to Pepe's career, you just have to look. You just have to look at one name, Willian. The fact he's shown Willian to play instead of Pepe said it all for me. His time was up. That's it. It's no argument. Your manager don't rate you. Simple. If he's got Willian in, even though you arguably played really well in the FA Cup run, he still doesn't trust you. And then
I don't think he could handle two defenders. When they used to double up on him, he was fucking hopeless when they doubled up on him. As soon as two players got on him, it was Aaron Ramsey settings. He's either going to run the ball out or he's going to pass the ball to an opposing player.
Yeah, but I think it was off the ball that Mikel wasn't happy with, and that does it nowadays. I'm sorry, but work rate is work rate, mate. You have to work hard if you're a great player. Mesut Ozil's biggest problem and reason why he will never be seen as a great player for us, because he didn't work hard enough. No, he only played well and worked hard when he played for Germany because he had to. There's no chance. Joachim Low was never going to accept his lack of work rate. If Joachim Low's running him around Mesut Ozil and just playing him in positions where he thinks he can hurt position, and he never played him in the same position. Mesut Ozil had to earn the guy's trust by working his nuts off, and that's the thing. You don't work your nuts off in modern football. No matter how good you are, you won't play. Simple.
You're spot on.
Kenny is spot on there, because he said that at the beginning of that. He said that Pepe is the most technical player that we have, and you can see that. The same with Mesut Ozil. He was the most gifted player that we had at the time as well. But these lads, they wouldn't run from here to the fucking wall over there. What good is that? If honestly, Steve, if I was on a football team and I had a fella like that playing beside me, at half time or at full time, I pulled the head off him in the dressing room. That's not good enough. And that attitude and that mentality goes through the club, through the rest. Sure, you'll be looking at Wilson and Pepe and saying, sure, if them lads talk here, so why should I care? Why should I run myself into the ground? Poison. So pay Pepe, give whatever, get fucking rid of him. Not good enough for the club, end of story.
That's the problem. You know, I love what Kenny said, and the problem is with his fan base, especially Arsenal fan base. And I remember Kenny said it last year, and I always say this: is the problem with the fan base is they get too attracted to players when you're actually supporting Arsenal. Because if the fan leaves, bye bye, see you later. Arsenal's still there. See, it's the same with me. See, like me, I'll be honest with you. You know, I can see Manny in the chat, you, Kyle, all these people. I know there's big Kiratini fans. Yo, if Kiratini goes, see you later. I'm not one of them ones who's going to worry about him. Goodbye. Khalas, bro. We lost Vieira. That was the biggest heartbreak of my life. Do you really care about Kiratini? Do you really care about Pepe? Do you really care about any player? If they want to go, see you later. Like I said, we lost Mr. Arsenal. And you really worried about someone. Come on, bro. Players go, bro. And that's the problem. Don't get attracted to too many players. Because at the end of the day, if a bid comes in, let me tell you something. No player is loyal. Doesn't matter how good they are. No player is loyal. And we've seen that with David Beckham.
Harry Kane is loyal.
He's dumb. He's not loyal.
Harry Kane is comfortable. There's a difference.
No, he's dumb. He's not loyal. He's just dumb. He's dumb. Harry Kane is just dumb, bro. That's the truth. Because if
Harry Kane is very comfortable.
He's just dumb, bro.
Yeah.
You know when you're the best player on a team and you're not that good, and there's an opportunity for you to go to another team, but you think to yourself it's going to be difficult, you just stay where you are. And I think if he went to Man United or Manchester City, he'd be copying it from the fans. Whereas at Spurs, doesn't matter what he does, he can't do no wrong, and that's a big deal. So Nicholas, I know this is an Arsenal show, but he's talking about, I'd like to know, who do you think's going to drop out of the out of the Premier League? There's 4 points separating 12th and 20th. That's a massive discussion. That's huge. There's so many teams.
So yeah,
it's massive, and I think that's a discussion, and that's something I've thrown out to my guy Akpos, who is thinking about covering that. So I'm not going to get into it because it will take us left, right, and center. Yes.
Yeah, I follow a load of podcasts from like all of the bottom 10 teams. If you can squeeze me in on there, I've got so much to say about like the relegation battle. So I'd love
to get as many people as we can on there, because I think it'd be a discussion that would go for fucking days. Seriously, I swear, it's just one of those ones.
I'll be honest with you. I don't really care who goes down, bro. As long as Arsenal wins the league, they can go in the championship. If it's West Ham, unlucky to you. Whoever goes down, good luck to him. I just want to win the league.
We can poach a few players from if they go down. So.
I just like to say one thing there, Steve.
Go for it.
And you might all go against me on this, but you know the way I am. I always speak what I think. So I'm going to say this to you all. I hear a lot of Arsenal fans running down Harry Kane. I will never run down Harry Kane. And the reason why I will never run down Harry Kane is very simple. Harry Kane is a top class striker.
Oh no! I won't take that away from him. No, he's the top class striker. No, he's a great striker. He's one of the greatest.
I know he's won fuck all and all the rest of it, and he's comfortable and all that. But I'm after hearing certain fans coming out jeering him. Now, I'm not saying any of you lads are, but they're jeering him, running him down, putting him down. You cannot put a player of Harry Kane's stature down. Yes, it's not. He's with a poxy team, poxy club. That's you know what I mean. We can all say that. But my God, how many strikers have we had in our history that's every bit as good as what Harry Kane has been? Thierry Henry is better. You can mention
Henry shit on him. Yeah. Henry shit on him.
You can imagine Thierry Henry, Cliff Baston. But you're only talking a handful of players. That's how good Harry Kane is.
Yeah, but we had a handful. They haven't even got a hand.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, that's why I thought.
It was asked before.
Look, he's quality, but until he wins some trophies, I'm not going to put him in the same bracket as players like, you can say he's played amazing, but where's the silverware? Like, come on.
No, as an individual, as a player, I'm not talking about trophies and all, but as an individual, as a player, he's a top goal scorer, he's a top striker. Like Wayne Rooney was a top striker, Thierry Henry top striker.
Yeah. I mean,
Rooney was winning stuff.
He has been mentioned as a top striker. Some lads, the way some people talk about him, you're swearing just an average player.
What's the thing though? Like that's why I criticise him.
Yeah, but you got it. Go on. Go on. Sorry, go on.
Now that's why I criticise him. Sorry, because he's way too good to be settling for this mediocrity in this club, and I can't. It's his attitude. Like he's got such quality. He could be so amazing, but he needs to get out of there and get the titles that he deserves. That's for me anyway. Sorry, Fuad.
Yeah, listen, Kai. I know you like Harry Kane, but bro, come on, he's got nothing to show for it, innit? When he sat down, I played for Tottenham Hotspurs, and I scored so many goals. That's all you got to show. Even Alan Smith for Arsenal, I won a league in Anfield. Even you can't Thierry Henry. There's no conversation. I wouldn't even put him next to Henry's name, bro. You know, you know what, bro? To be honest with you, because he plays for the team, he's comfortable, but he's daft. I think he's daft, bro. Because if he wanted to win stuff, he could have called Man United, he could have called Man City, he could have called. Do you know what? Come home. Yeah, we would have given him an FA Cup or two.
Well, remember, Yaya Sanogo's got more trophies than this guy. But anyway,
you know, Fuad's make me laugh because the question I got everyone on this panel, and
go for it.
I remember one time about 7 years ago, we were slagging off Diego Costa. Oh, he's this. I hate him. I want to hit him. I want to hit him with my handbag or throw stones at him. I went up to everyone on that panel because that was when Arsenal was the Arsenal that was a shadow of a big club it was. All right, would you have Diego Costa up front at Arsenal? And every one of them said yes. The same thing I said to you guys. If Harry Kane was available right now, would you take him? Of course you will, because he's one of the great. He's not just a great goal scorer; he's a great footballer. And you know his game's on levels that I didn't thought was possible. But the fact is, he is the reason why he stays at Tottenham. Obviously, he's comfortable. But I suppose he's probably said, right, I've got a Champions League final. I was a bit unlucky there. I wasn't fit, so they come close, but close ain't good enough in football. But if Harry Kane was available right now, and Spurs put the cheeky offer, and Arteta was to say, go and get Harry Kane. I'll say I wouldn't give Arteta 6 of the best for that because I'll take Harry Kane right now.
Yeah,
I would.
100%.
I will all take him. I think unanimous. Every single one of us here and everyone in the chat would take Harry Kane to Arsenal all day, all fucking day. I would.
See what? It's not. I'm not saying like he's. What I'm trying to say to you, I just want to clarify this. I'm not saying he's as good as Henry. No one is as good as Henry. In my opinion, Henry is the second best player I ever saw play in the Premier League after Dennis Bergkamp. But what I'm saying is that in our history, we've only had, you can name about 4 or 5 strikers, goal scorers, that's better than Harry Kane. That's how good Harry Kane is. And that's the history of one club. So, a great club like Arsenal. So, I would take Harry Kane all day long. Harry Kane's quality. And he's wasting a waste of space at Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, but he has a choice to leave, man. He had a choice to leave, see? He had a choice to
he did try to go to Man
make a
City,
legacy.
Prince. He did try to go to Man City. I don't know what this is.
He never tried to go Man City, Kyle, man. The boy Tottenham said to him, just stay one more year. And he was like, all right then, I'll stay for 1 more year. Then Man City, see, they knew there was a problem where, Jamie, the Man City knew there was a problem between Haaland and Borussia Dortmund. See, Man City knew there was a... You get me, bro? Man City knew there was a problem between Dortmund and Haaland. Man City went, you stay there, mate. What are you saying, Haaland?
Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit.
No, bro. No excuse. Do you know how you guys say no excuse? Listen, I'm going to tell you now. No excuse. The man had chances. He could have gone Man United. Bro, he could have come to Arsenal. He could go to any team. He walks into any team. That is a fact. He walks into any team now, Harry Kane. If I was Harry Kane, I'm sat at Tottenham. The only thing I'm looking at is a thing that reminds me of cornflakes. Go on, go. Walk, bruh. Go. The guy's crazy, bruh.
Shit.
I'll tell you straight, bro. I'll take him right now. I swear down, if I see breaking news, Harry Kane at Arsenal, I'll do a backflip. I'll do a backflip right now.
Fuad does a backflip. You're going to do a backflip.
I'll do a backflip. I swear down, I'll record me doing a backflip if he comes to Arsenal.
Yeah. Shit. Would you do it for £100?
Yeah. Hey,
On
as
camera?
long as he don't do, as long as he doesn't go on, as long as he don't go on one of those childish fan cams and do it. Do it
No,
for
no,
just
real
us.
cam.
Do it for your mate, not for that fan cam bollocks.
You
that
have to have
Lyle
the
runs.
ambulance on hand. Sorry.
Oh, fucking all day. Oh,
Kenny, if they win the league, I'm going to do it outside the Emirates.
No, well, yeah.
Oh.
Make sure you do it. Make sure I'm there, but don't go on them. Don't go on them Lyle's bollocks and do it.
No.
getting the views, guys. I had another question, and this goes back down to our fan base end to end. Now we all know we're sitting top of the league. We all know we're playing some great football, and we all know that there are many a team, Chelsea, that are in awe of the kind of football that we're playing. Right now, what gets to me at the moment is that I'm still seeing on YouTube the negativity coming from our own fan base. Like, not from look, Man United fans are going to come at me. That's what they do. Spurs fans are going to come at me. Oh, you're just going to be Leicester. You guys aren't even Leicester. So get the fuck out of here. But what gets to me is when I get, like, when a child throws their toys out of the pram, as soon as one little thing goes wrong, oh, it's all fucked and this and that. It comes from Arsenal fans. I'm just wondering, what is it? Is it our mentality? Is it the content creators that we have out there? We have ultra positive content creators that fucking hype up any little thing that Arteta will do. Then we got the ultra negative. That doesn't matter how well we play, right? We'll only ever spew shit. Is our fan base stuck between two worlds because of the content creators? And is it just time? It's a two-part question. Is it just time to fucking band together, become the 12th man, shut the fuck up, and take it all in?
Yeah,
I know it's a long question.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. For me, there's like two definite camps, and both like hugely criticizing the other. And I think, well, what you were saying is like why there might be like negativity when there doesn't need to be. I think a lot with the rise of like football YouTube and shows with rival fans debating, no one wants to put their neck out there sometimes on the positive or negative side and reveal their true opinions for fear of having egg thrown in their face and being bantered. I think that's a big part of it. But then you'd think more people would sit in the middle and kind of sit on the fence, and there aren't many like that. I try personally and like listen to both sides and kind of sit in the middle, agree with some parts of what negative people say. I just think it's too polarized, and for me, I agree. Yeah, we should stick together, fall on our swords, be the 12th man for this last 10 games. It's a tricky topic, though. Yeah, quite polarizing, I suppose. There's too much conflict within sometimes, infighting, and when we're top of the league, so I don't think there needs to be. But yeah, that's a tricky question. It's
a tough one because the way I see it, and Kenny King, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I can sit here and I've put all the stats on the bottom. I talked about that every single player in the starting 11, forget the bench, at Arsenal, except for Aaron Ramsdale, which I still think could take a penalty, so he could get that stat, has scored.
No way.
You remember? You remember when Martinelli was taking that shot? He was sort of taking the shot too. He had the right idea. He even celebrated.
Yeah. There's only two. When I was growing up, there was a Man United goalkeeper called Alex Stepney, and he used to take penalties for Man United, and he was good at them. And then there's probably another guy, I think Paraguay goalkeeper took penalties, but like he could barely kick. Sometimes Aaron Ramsey can barely get the ball out of his goal area. Just let him do what he does best. Sorry, I was going to say Stanley's line, but he don't do that, does he?
No, fuck, he can't do that either. Fuck me. But it's true. It's true. It's not the first time he got caught out, but he has been a bit how you going. But I look at it and I think I look at the left and the right, and I hate to see the left and right. And I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sitting here, I'm going, I'm a content creator. I'm not a massive content creator. And big up the chat. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up everyone who supported this channel. Please support the guys on the panel because they're not fucking pushing their channels. Their descriptions are in a link below. But I believe that the only way I can get hyped up, right, is when this team shows me something. And it's not about, oh, you're jumping the gun. I'm not jumping the gun. I know why Zinchenko's playing over fucking Kieran Tierney. and I can explain it in fucking half an hour, but we don't have half an hour. And I look at the team and I say, I can be positive because of what I'm seeing. There are some negative aspects, but I can't sit here and worry about the small little negativity and forget about the big positive. And that's what gets to me. It's like, okay, to be positive now, not ultra positive, but positive. And when it's negative, be negative. Can't we just call it straight down the line?
Yes.
What's the go here? Why can't we just fucking be straight down the line and say, look, our team wasn't up to it. Unfortunately, blah, blah, blah. You'll have ultra positive fans that will sit there and big up the team when they're a fucking shit show shambles. But then vice versa, you have the negative fans that are fucking going to shit show the fucking team when they're wonderful. Ken, I don't know. Have you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen this shit?
Oh yeah, I think what it is. I think sometimes, some people, feel like the club's a family member. So if anyone's like not, fully bored with what's going on, they start having a go at other fans, and some fans will take it as a game-to-game basis because at the end of the day, it's a 90 minutes, and people see negativity as criticism. Not if you're watching the 90 minutes of football, you all critique that performance. You have to. If you're a content creator, if you're worth your salt and you're actually honest in what you do, and you just watch football, you critique it, and then the fact is the best time to interview a football fan, and the worst time to interview a football fan is after a defeat, because simple reason, they tell the truth. And when we win, especially after a massive defeat, everything's okay. People don't realise what 3 points does for you after a game. No matter how you look at last season, what 3 points did for us, after winning, and then after we lose against Tottenham, Newcastle, it all goes down because some people. It's like people voting elections, isn't it? There's going to be some people who are Team Labour, no matter what.
Yeah.
But you're going to have I call some fans, they're like floating voters, floating fans on a game-to-game basis. Depends on the results. So, for instance, if they had any negativity or they wanted Arteta to be replaced, because you're a floating fan, like a floating voter, he can turn it around for you with really good performances. So for a lot of people, he's turned it around for a lot of fans because of the fact that, the way we started the season. But even the all or nothing footy, I thought that was I refused to watch it because I thought I was there. I know what happened. But a lot of fans who watch that all or nothing thing, I think, I call it good for nothing. But they turned it around because they heard him speak. They saw what was happening. They could feel that the players were into him, and they thought, right, that's how you change it around. And that's what you think. Sometimes when you call fans negative, sometimes you misinterpret it a bit because simple reasons they've only been commentating the game afterwards, and some people need more convincing than others. It's just like politics. Some fans are gonna, like myself, just want keep proving me wrong, Mikel. Keep proving me wrong, and that's it. I like the fact that that me and him having a battle. I'm Arteta out. I love the fact that he's proving me wrong. I don't want to just go in the Arteta in camp, not because I'm stubborn, because I want him to set standards that I can think, yeah, all right, come on then, and I can go, all right, I want this now. I think it's fun. I love it.
Yeah,
because that means Arsenal doing well.
Yeah, Terry from the Football Terrace, love him. He was saying, like, his family has professional footballers in it, and they would rather see people online being honest and giving them criticism and stuff. They don't like it when everyone's just like, you're amazing,
yeah.
Which is for real. But I think another problem on that, what you're saying about the two sides and the negativity and stuff, I've had the people who've been nicest to me are the ones people view as super negative. So you, Kenny Ken, Lee, Gunner was being kind to me and stuff. And it was a lot of the super positive, won't say anything wrong about the club, that came down on me appearing on a show with Lee. So they think they're, what doesn't smell, but you can praise the club all you want, but if you're not being pleasant and understanding, listening to fellow fans, then I'm not going to take you seriously. So yeah, the super positive ones can be even worse, basically.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. There's a big event happening here in my local town here today. A big celebration. And among friends, football friends, and a few of my Arsenal fans. And because I've spoken out about, and I've spoken out for the last 20 odd years now about Arsenal Football Club, because you have to understand, I was speaking out. I wanted Wenger to go 7 years before he went. I was speaking out about Wenger. I've been wanting the standards to be where they are as we speak. And this is going on for years and years and years. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm probably the only person in my town that's not going to this event today because they took my invite away from me because I speak out about Arsenal Football Club. That's
bullshit.
How much this means to me, because I'm not going to lick anyone's backside and jump on the train that they're on and agree because they agree. I speak out and I believe in my values and my principles about this club, and I love this club too much to go and say what I don't believe. And therefore, I've been kicked to the curb, basically. I've been kicked to the curb today. But guess what? I'll take it on the chin and I'll move on. And I know who my friends are and who's not my friends. But what I'm trying to say is this. This fan base thing, the division, this is after happening, Steve, over a 19-year period because of the lack of success that we've had.
Of course.
And people like myself, I want to speak about me at the moment, that's been supporting Arsenal since 1986. I was so used to watching us win on a consistent basis. And then all of a sudden, we come to a wallop. And now this success is not the same. And that's a queer hard thing to take when you're supporting a club and you love a club like we all do so much. And you're looking at all this success. You're looking at European titles coming. You're looking at FA Cups, League Cups, championships coming, and the great players, the great managers. It's a great feeling. And I know that the likes of Fran on the panel here today hasn't tasted that because of her age, and other people. That's not their fault. It's their age. But I want those people to taste what we tasted. Me, Kenny, Kane, you, Prince, Steve. We want these young people to smile so that they can have the standards when we're all dead and buried. We need our club back to them days. And I'll keep fighting. I'll keep shouting from the rooftop till we get there again. And that's why we have this division in the fan base. Because you have some fans who think this is great. Because we're now, say we finish second or third, Steve, just for talk's sake.
Yeah.
I know that there's fans out there and they'll be very happy with that. They'll be saying, oh, sure, it's great. We look forward to the next season. It's a great buzz around the place. The atmosphere is great. And then you have fans like me that come on the channels and say, this is an absolute fucking joke. The standards, where's the standard? It's terrible. So this is where the division is. But maybe.
I'm positive though. I'm positive, but I have really high standards. I haven't seen Arsenal win a title. Like I wasn't supporting football back then, but like it kind of depends. Like in life, like I've played sports all my life. Like I want to win. I want my club to win. I want nothing but the best. So like not all youngsters are like, and you look at Gracie as well. We're not all like, oh, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. Like I'm just kind of a realist about it. I see the good, I see the bad. But yeah, sorry, that was just to defend my age a little bit.
No. I'm talking about. Sorry, Fran. I'm talking about the lads here in my place, in my town here.
Okay.
And the thing is, Fran, no, it's not your fault about your age or Gracie's age. You know, I tell you the truth, I wish I was your age again, now let me tell you. But what I'm trying to say is I want you guys to smell this success, the winning this title. And maybe, and just maybe, if we do win the title this season, Steve, we can all get together and we can all become the one fan base and no more division and push forward and succeed again next season.
It's about being the 12th man.
Maybe this season might pull us all together.
But see, this is when the fan base, this is when, and people say why I backed Arteta from the start. And this is when me and the fan base differ. Because you got the likes of like people come on, like for instance, like Fran just said, she went live with Lee, she went live with a few people who were negative, but they're positive people. But then it's how they put their word across. Like for instance, Mikel Arteta, all right, Mikel Arteta, if he wins the title now, okay, for instance, he wins the title, I took that 4 years of sacrifice, backing him, then 19 years of everyone was quiet. I'm not saying everyone. Shambles under Arsene Wenger. Do you know the first person I ever seen speak out against Wenger on a live camera was Kenny, 2008. Said, get him out the club. Because the football got stale. And I remember that was in the Emirates that game. And Kenny, when he said that, get him out the club, people were like, this guy's crazy. But no, the football, you could go to see the team wasn't playing. And we had about 12 years of that nonsense. 12 years is a decade and 2 years. So these players, it got him. So when Aubameyang come into the Arsene Wenger era and Lacazette, when they used to lose, it was like, oh, that was like on my paycheck and the gaffers don't win with it. But this, and then people were happy with it. But when this man come in, this man seen it happen. He's seen Bellerin, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Mustafi. He said, how are we going to win with this lot? How are we going to win with this lot? When it was a 12-year philosophy of allowing to have failure. So when Mikel Arteta come out and spoke, listen, this is what I'm going to do. This is what needs to happen. If he wins the league now, I'm happy that I took that 4 years of sacrifice of backing him and winning that title than 12 years of watching my team fail. And everyone forgot about that. That's why the man had a job on his hands. Everyone said we should have got a better manager. Which manager would have took that job after Wenger? Wenger was a high-paid manager. Wenger was never questioned. Wenger could lose 8-2, and the owners would say to him, oh, how's your day been? Oh, it's all right.
Yeah.
How was the football? Oh, the players play well. How can you question that? Do you think Allegri would have come to that and spoil his legacy? Do you think Carlo Ancelotti would have come to that and spoil his legacy? We got to talk facts, people. We can't just sit there and blame Arteta for what's happened for 12 years. And if he wins the league, boy. So
Fred,
that's what I'm saying.
You know what you just done? You know what you just done? What you've just done is shown why the football fans are never going to be united. And it's in a nice way. We all got our own individual supporters experience. So why should we be united? We all should be able to come to our own decisions, our own way, and our own time when we feel like it. You're entitled for that to have said, you know, take a bit of pain, a bit like a conservative, take a bit of pain. We're all in this together, but it'll be good in the end. And you will be, and if it happens, you deserve to be rewarded because you've backed the manager from day one. You deserve it because it's your own sports experience. All this stuff about, oh yeah, let's all unite. You don't have to unite if you don't want to. The fact is that I don't pay for your season ticket, Fuad. I don't pay for Fran's season ticket. I don't pay for Cole's. I don't pay for Steve's. If you pay for your own memberships, but even if you even had a red membership, if you pay for a ticket to go and watch us play, then you're entitled to do exactly what you want and have an opinion, whatever you want, because it's your supporting experience. Doesn't matter how you supported us. You could have supported us because your dad told you to, because you live in the local area, or because of Ian Wright. But the fact is, the most sacred thing a football fan has, which is theirs, is their own opinion and supporters experience. And the fact is that we don't have to be united. All we have to do is make sure that at the end of the game we cheer. And the only thing we've got in common with each other is that we're at Wembley, we're in the north end of the stadium, and the opposition's in the south. That's all.
Yeah.
I think though, before you start, go on, I think though, all this in and out, when he wins the title, it's going to end. That's because of Arsene Wenger, and it's a continuation of a failed philosophy by being in and out. I find if this guy wins the title, all at an end.
When you get a problem, I completely agree, Ken. It's when people try and imprint their own supporters' experience and say that you should feel like me and you're wrong for feeling that way. When it's just like anything in life, just accepting everyone's got different opinions and all of that. So yeah, bang on.
It's about having that discussion. And I say to everybody, this whole thing about YouTube as a content creator for me is about sitting down with my fellow content creators, with everyone in the chat who I'm reading all your chats, and I say, if you've got a different opinion from mine, there's nothing wrong with that, but explain it so I can understand it as well. Shine the light. You know, when people say I want Tini over Zinchenko, have a chat to me, inbox me on Instagram. Trust me, I'll explain it to you. I'll let you know what it's about. I'll let you know about the shifts and the formation. It's about having a different opinion and then backing it up. And not just to be ultra positive, because I love Arsenal and we're going to win. Why? Because I love Arsenal. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. And then there's the other one, the other flip side of the coin, where it's, Arsenal can't win anything. Dude, we're top of the fucking league and we got the same points Man City did last season. I don't care. We're not going to win. You need to be able to have that discussion. And then when football fans can have that discussion, then that means we're sitting down discussing football. And the one thing we have in common, the most important thing that we should have in common is Arsenal Football Club. And amongst ourselves, it's amongst ourselves. But we don't throw the team under the bus and we don't throw the club into the gutter. I think we can sit here as a fan base, have our differences, but have our discussions to back that. We don't need to go at each other. We can have our discussions. And you know what? We can all learn from them. And it's not about, sorry for going on for a bit, it's not about, I have to be right. I'm that content creator who wants to be wrong so I can learn something. And then eventually, I'll know it all. But if I'm going to come out here with, I know I'm right, I know I'm right, I know I'm right, I know I'm right, it's like, fuck, you're a piece of timber. There's no point. And I think that's a big thing in Arsenal, in the Arsenal community. We need to be open. So when an Arteta in or a big positive fan, let's say, an ultra positive sits down with an ultra negative, the one thing they have to do is respect each other, listen to each other, and not just hear the first sentence, but you know what I mean, Kenny Ken, where you listen to the whole discussion, you hear the person, and then come with the rebuttal. Don't just try to tit for tat. Take it in as a lesson. Because I don't know any footballer, right, that just came out of the womb and was as good as Messi without any training. I don't know any boxer that stepped into the ring and started throwing hands and were wonderful. Mike Tyson was a great fighter, but who made him a great fighter? Mike Tyson made himself a great fighter because he humbled himself and he listened to his mentor. And I think as football fans, we need to humble ourselves, listen to one another, and in the end, you might actually see what somebody is trying to explain to you. And that's where the 12th man can exist for me.
I get that, but that's like goes into a wider discussion about society. And most of the time, like our opinions with how we treat other fans or how we unfortunately treat people in life sometimes, like going around with ego, believing that you're right all the time. Yeah. And it's I mean, it's the ideal, but I just don't think like that's.
No, but in sports, in sports though, sometimes sports ain't like about lifestyle. Sports is a sport. Like sometimes you need to kick back and see, let's see what happens. When someone starts their career in football, you kick back. And it's like with Saka. When Unai Emery played him in his first debut, he said, let's kick back, let's see what this youngster can do. That's sport. And then when you win, and everyone has an opinion, and he's going to be good for the future. Someone say, he hasn't got there yet. So that's sports. Everyone has their own opinion. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes your opinion could be right, but sometimes your opinion could be wrong. Like, and that's what it is. And I find my opinion was when Arsenal were terrible, losing 8-2s, losing the 6-0s, losing. My opinion was this: I just want a young manager to come in, sacrifice 2, 3, 4 years, and I think he'll deliver the title. That's what I wanted, and that's why I'm back, because the game was changing, and Wenger never changed with it.
That's a fact.
And Arsenal, and that's why we haven't won a title for 19 years, because it's like Kenny was saying, we never. As a club, we didn't want to dissolve. We didn't want to go with them. We just wanted to stay up. We just wanted to stay stale. And that's what Arsenal did. So I just hope we win the league for everyone's sake, bro. So we can all happy at the end of the season. We can all walk around, especially in London, because we all know the Chelsea fans, the Tottenham fans, the West Ham fans, they don't want Arsenal to win the league. and when you go to Liverpool, the Liverpool fans, the Manchester United fans, don't want Man City to win the league. So let's just hope we win the league. We all have a massive celebration at the end of the season. That's what I want. I don't care about who's Arteta out there to in. There's only one guy who's having it. There's only one guy who's having it. And you know what your name is, Mr. LLD, whatever your name is?
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit in the end. Here's a good one.
Rubbish.
Predictions for tomorrow's game. England, Ukraine. We all know who's going to win this, and I'm backing. I reckon England are going to smash them. I'm going to...
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt you, but I don't care. I don't care because I'm so fed up with Gareth. I'm so fed up with I've been 100% on board. I've been 100% on board. I'm not even watching them. I'm so fed up with his favoritism and picking these players over ones that don't deserve it, and then the style of football, playing so defensive, trying to play on the counter when this team has the minerals if he picks the right players rather than his favourites to win the World Cup, to be the best team in the world, but he's just too conservative, and I don't care. Change.
Why couldn't he also hate Bukayo Saka so he could be sitting at home?
Right.
You know,
at least he's not playing him at left back now.
Saka's got a bad attitude, Gareth. Get rid of him. Send him back home.
Ben White's got a bad attitude. I'm done with it. Play attacking football. Play something exciting. Anyway, what do you guys think?
Oh shit!
Funny that exactly. only one of the panel who loves international football. Who likes international football? Thinks it's
on your own.
I love it.
You know what got me back into international football? I have to admit, it was when I watched Spain thrash Germany 6-0 in the League of Nations, and I was thinking, "Oh, that is beautiful play." And I think with the internationals, I think the thing about it, right, whether we like it or not, without these qualification games, we know, World Cup with all your family, with your beers and your barbecues, or European Championship, your beers and barbecues, Heinekens, and and watching the games in the pubs, or just getting everyone around.
So good.
Without these qualification games, there's at the tournament, so you got to have these things, and or don't get me wrong, the qualification games, a lot of the games are crap, but when it comes to the nitty gritty of the World Cup, and even people not interested in football will go for it because they're nationalists. I think international football's great, but it's like the thing, mate. It's like the FA Cup final. I know everyone hates the third round, but without the third round, you can't have the FA Cup final. Yeah. It's the same with international, the World Cup and European Championships. You've got to have the qualification games.
Yeah, like any sport. But I watched it all the Euros and everything. We were in Dorset with all of my friends camping for the whole 2 weeks. They had this big screen at the campsite. Just the best thing ever. But I just get so disappointed by the football, and that's why I'm kind of disillusioned at the moment. I love supporting England. Like, everyone loves supporting their country, but the football is my problem at the moment.
Frank, can I ask you another question? Question? I don't want to be presumptuous, but is it getting away your Arsenal the International Week as well?
Oh, yes. I'm going to be honest. But I would be less annoyed about the break. I'm not annoyed about the break. I know it needs to happen. If England actually played a more exciting, watchable style of football. Yeah. I was seeing us all be electric together, seeing Saka linking up with Grealish and those guys. I wouldn't have a problem. But it's stopping Arsenal, which is doing so well, for a boring defensive style of football that keeps letting us down in semis or even finals.
Steve what? I tell you my answer about international football.
I don't want nothing to do with it.
It's very hard to like international football as an Irish fan. Because that Ireland team, I'm telling you straight up, because I go to the games. That Ireland team, I'd rather watch paint dry. They're absolute fucking shambolic. The manager, Stephen Kenny, hasn't a clue. The players are brutal. And now we have this young generation coming in. Wait to see what France will do to him on Monday. They'll absolutely destroy him. But the other thing is, Steve, what? England, for me, on paper, they have the potential of winning World Cups because they have the players. And the Gareth Southgate is absolutely fucking useless. And the other thing I'm going to say is that I'm not a hypocrite. It's the English Premier League that I support. I love it. And I do like to see the England team doing well. But I have a major problem from wanting them to win the World Cup. In one way, I want them to win the World Cup. But in another way, I don't want them to win the World Cup. Because the reason why I don't want them to win the World Cup is because I've been 90 years of age and I'll be still listening about the same bullshit story that they won the World Cup in 2010. They won the World Cup in 1966 and I'm still fucking listening about it.
Yeah, true.
The paparazzi is England's worst enemy because they make them all like this and that. Kenny Kane is a big sportsman. And Kenny Kane, I love tennis, man. And I know you love the old tennis Thursday. Now, if Andy Murray went and won Wimbledon, England paparazzi, he's one of us, even though he's from Scotland. If fucking Rafa Nadal won Wimbledon, the English press would say, he's one of us. because the paparazzi destroys England. And I'm only speaking because I'm from a different country. Maybe if you're from England, you don't see this. But it drives you fucking insane.
It's the most. Trust me.
Oh, fuck.
Every World Cup, every European Championships. I'll tell you one thing. Jeff Hurst, mate. That's the only reason why he actually makes money nowadays. Just wheel him in. Oh yeah, the guy scored a hat trick in the 1966 World Cup. The 66. I mean, God bless their souls. Most of them are not around anymore. So I suppose Jeff Hurst is probably the last man standing. But yeah, in this country, the 1966 boys are like. They're like gold, you know. We just wheel them out every time. I mean, you know, there's times when England don't even qualify for World Cups, and no one talks about it because it's 1966. Because, you know, England believe that they have to win the World Cup because they've invented the game. And you know, but I think what it is that club football's too strong in this country, and probably rightly so. The Premiership and the Champions League has done a number on international football. It's really done a number because when I was growing up, if you were to define the best players in the world. They obviously won World Cups or European Championships in their countries. You know, Platini, Pele, Maradona. You know, Cruyff got in there because he nearly won it. Now, best players in the world are players who've done things for their clubs, who've won Champions League, and they probably haven't won in the World Cup. What do you think? You know, and that's things that change. You know, It
can be that again, though. Like me, as my age in my 20s, like. We get so up for it. And the magic is there during the tournaments, but then we just keep getting disappointed. And then it's like, that's why we focus on club football. But like the willingness is there to be as excited as you guys used to be.
Fran, the problem England have is the manager. You have the players. If you got a good manager or someone with a football brain, England could actually win the World Cup. They have the players. Jesus Christ, the squad of players they have is frightening. And and as I said to you, that's the only reason why you don't really want them to win is because of the paparazzi. It's not because it's England, it's the paparazzi. Paparazzi drive you fucking insane. Like you know Kenny Kane there, for the example of Kenny Kane there, you know this. So look what they did with Liam Brady there recently. They put up that he's from England. Do you know what I mean? So you know, everyone had to kind of come together. They had to change that. But that's what I'm saying to you. It's wrong, like, you know. And it's a pity because I'd love to see England done well.
Facts. Yeah, but the thing about England is that we obviously, rightly so, everyone's focused in this country and everyone thinks they should win it. But if you saw France yesterday, it's Holland, you see the sort of conveyor belt of players coming through, and then you think, hang on here, don't count your chickens because what about France? And then, you know, even though Belgium, you know, had a few Willie Young moments in the World Cup. They smashed a very, very efficient Sweden side. So it's not going to be easy. So, you know, that's why come the next tournament, if England qualify or when they qualify, you know, they have to be at it. They've got to be at it because let me tell you something now. As strong as England will be in 2 years' time, next summer, I can guarantee you France will be stronger and Belgium probably. You know what I mean?
England have had this problem with managers. England have had this problem with managers for years. They've been a mess for years when it comes to their managers. I remember watching Ian Wright sitting on the fucking bench when he was the highest goal scorer in the fucking Premier League. I'll never forget that. And he was my favourite player. I was like, what the fuck is he doing on the bench? And he's sitting there watching. Or why is he watching? But I think Gunnar Resch hit the nail on the head. And his comment was, and I agree with him here as an Australian. You'd need a non-English manager. Out of left field, Zidane. And I think a non-English manager is exactly what you need. Because Southgate, what was he? He wasn't much of a player, and he's nothing.
Yeah, but they've had them, though. They had Swing for the 2 World Cups and the European Championships in 2002 to 2006. And they had, you know, Capello.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So basically, what's happened is that if you are going to get a foreign coach in, then you've got to give him players. I think right now, England is right for a foreign coach because you think about it right now. A decent foreign coach can get England to win a tournament easily because this guy has got it's basically, how do I say it? It's like Kirsten poles in front of swine with this coach. He's so negative. His negativity cost us quarterfinals against France. His negativity cost the final against Italy, and his negativity cost the semi-final against Croatia. It's him, his tactics. You know, normally you say you can't put in a coach, but with that you can. It's like Guardiola in the Champions League. Man City should be winning the Champions League, won at least 3 or 4 times. But I think with Guardiola's, you know, tactical acumen in the Champions League or lack of it, that's cost them. He cost them a Champions League final against Chelsea, no doubt, with that team selection. He cost them against Lyon. He cost them against Liverpool and Spurs. It's him as well. And sometimes the coach does matter. And Southgate is a problem for England because, as everyone says, the players are there and there's more coming through.
I want him to just say to them one time, like, boys, ignore my tactics. Just go out there and play how you want to play. Like, I think just them playing off their own intuition and with each other would be so much better. They're so restricted and held back. And as Sam said, this comment, yeah, could you imagine Saka, Rashford, Grealish, Foden playing in a Brazilian-style system? I don't know why he's so conservative, and it's so frustrating because we're not going to have this golden generation of English players.
I have a question for Kenny Kane. Kenny Kane, no matter who the manager is, my question to you is, do you think that England would have more of a chance if the paparazzi left them alone, instead of saying that they've won the World Cup even before the World Cup even starts, putting the pressure on the players straight away? So the question is, do you think England would be better off if the paparazzi just left them alone?
Thing about it, right? The genie's out of the bottle now, and that's the thing is that, but it's an old saying. You can say that, but the problem is that unfortunately now with football, especially even this day and age, you know, when you let the press into your life, that's it. They're not going to go away. They're not going to stop. They're not going to, you know, they're not going to start being jingoistic or nationalistic because they've been there for a long time. Is that, you know, for people in football, when they want to promote themselves and promote a player, they're happy for the press to be around them, to big up the player and big up the club. So, but what's happened is they want it. Then when they become famous, they become successful. They want it in their own terms. It doesn't work like that. The press, footballers nowadays have to be able to deal with pressure and demands of the manager. If you can't, with the conveyor belt of players you described, Cole, there's someone else to take their place. Sterling, it's fantastic for England, but if he puts one foot out of place, Rashford's going to come and take his place. That's what you want, and I think at the end of the day, it's what it is. I'll tell you one thing. Can you imagine what it's like in Brazil?
Yeah.
Brazil. Yeah. You times that by 10, the press in Brazil, then that's real pressure compared to what we have here.
Yeah.
Oh bloody oath. Guys, I'm just gonna throw out the poll. The poll looks like it's an 84% for Arsenal to win the league and about a 19 for a no. So that's fucking exciting. I got one more question before I end this show. And this is to each and every. No, it's not about England. Fuck England. England are fuck. This is an easy one. You see your manager problems? I've got a guy that used to fucking work in a pub who couldn't even fucking pull a fucking beer. All right. And he's walking around saying, oh, look, I've got you guys as far as the golden era. So I must be as good as this team and this manager must be as good as our golden era. Harry Kewell, Mark Viduka, go fuck yourself. Sorry, but he's a Graham Arnold, mate. I would end you. But
sorry.
Back onto Arsenal. Guys, this season so far, the 3 key players that you guys believe have been key to our success. You only get 3, right? Which 3 players do you guys believe? I'm going to go to each one of you. And the guys in the chat, let me know, have been key to our success and have gotten as far as we have now with these guys. And I'm going to go straight to Kenny Ken first.
Partey, Saka, and Odegaard.
Fuck, okay, yeah, I could see that. Kyle, what do you reckon?
100%. Kenny Kane took the words right up my mouth. Odegaard, Saka, and Partey. Sure. Like, let's face up to it. I'm not the greatest Odegaard fan. I thought he was terrible last season. Odegaard is after being exceptional this season. Partey, he's immense in midfield. And then you have Saka, and Saka is just Saka. He's just brilliant day in, day out. They have to be the top three. Have to be. Can't see anyone else.
Fuad, what do you reckon?
Saka, Partey, Martinelli.
Prince, I thought you were going to say Nketiah.
I knew someone was gonna. I was waiting for it. I was fucking waiting for someone to do that.
Our best striker's been Nketiah because you know you'll be fit, bruh.
Fran, who do you reckon?
You go first, Steve.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Gabriel. Okay, because no one talks about the defense, Gabriel, because if it wasn't for him, we'd be a shit show shambles. Not Saliba, not the Rolls Royce. No, I'll take the Fiat. And you guys are probably gonna get the shits with me, but I'm gonna say Odegaard and Saka. I know Partey's been important, but I think Odegaard, Saka, and Gabriel for me have been the most important. Not to take anything away from Partey.
Okay.
But I just think that they have been my key players.
Yeah, fair enough. See, I come at it. You guys are all gonna hate me. You think Steve's take was hot. I come at it from a completely different perspective, where I think that the mentality aspect and the way that their personalities infect spread to the others in the team. The mentality is, for me, most important because I'm big on like mental health and attitude and stuff like that. So for me, you're gonna hate this. Okay. The difference in like the psychology and like team spirit of the back line since Ramsdale came in has been like night and day. The unity and the confidence that he transmits, Arteta's favourite word, transmits from the back. He's got such a big personality. Like immediately the defence is like a team like that want to keep a clean sheet. So I just think mentality-wise, Ramsdale and also Zinchenko and Jesus. I know you're going to hate this, but their winning attitude. So I'm not talking in terms of technical help on the ball and stuff, because I think they're two sides of a coin. So on my side of the coin, Zinny and Jesus, the comments we got from Zinny all season saying he come in and told the squad, we're going to win the league this year. I'm making sure we're going to win the league this year. Even if it doesn't happen, comments like that. And Jesus's like work rate obviously just pushed everyone else even more. So I think, it's a combination of the technical players that you guys have mentioned and the players like these that have come in with that mentality and attitude. So I
can see. Look, there are so many players out. Sorry to cut you off, but I think every single player out in that pitch has been fucking immense. That's just from my perspective. Go for it, Fuad. I'm sorry to cut you off.
I said really and truly there. So if we go on the panel, player of the season has got to be Partey because 3 of us picked him.
Yeah. But then again, I also picked. Wait, Saka. No, wait a minute. Everyone, I picked Saka.
I can't believe that actually I'm agreeing with Kyle for the first time ever.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4. There was 4 for Saka.
I thought you would have given player of the year to Nketiah, your best friend.
Oh, I love Nketiah, bro.
Guys, can I address like it's a serious thing? Yeah, but serious. No, for real though, because every other club. Can you just clarify to me? Right, every other club is saying Arsenal players don't talk about the party situation, and they're saying like stop. Like, I just don't think as Arsenal fans we can just ignore like the allegations and all of that horrible stuff. Like, what's going on with that? Because other clubs bring it to us every single day, and we just
it was all dropped, didn't it? Partey, it was all dropped, didn't it? The girl, I think she before they went to court admitted it was a rational heat of a moment, didn't it? He never went court on it. That's all clear.
Well, I think the thing about it, right, is that the situation is regarding the situation. Well, we don't know who it is, but we know who it is, but we don't. And I think that, I think because we're football fans, we fall in that safety net. But there has been questions. If we believe it's just the same player, then the Barnet police have questioning him now. I think now he's back in the country, so it's ongoing. But again, until like I said, it gets to a situation on the CPS charge, we're not going to be able to. We're not going to talk about it. But in terms of the whole situation, is that it's a problem with football, really. I think footballers in general have generally got to realise one thing is that, you know, I understand it's the same thing with any film stars and pop stars. When you have people, when you've got a lot of money, you've got a lot of fame, you generally believe that, you know, that you ought to be all and end all everything, and you're not, you know, and you feel that everyone you're too used to people saying yes to you, and until you get rid of that mentality and you should have better education, we're going to see more stories like this,
We got Walker this last week. The stuff coming out about him, but I do think rival fans need to hold the same energy when these allegations come out. They're coming harder down on Arsenal fans for ignoring the Partey thing because we're winning and they don't like us. Whereas we can point at players from their club where similar things have happened.
They're doing it. But the thing about it, you look at the moral fans, you know, 90% of people, right, who can comment like that and try to have a go at us. The fact is, I don't think they actually care about the player or the victim.
For me, like, as a woman who's like experienced, like, it really like does taint. I'm never gonna say until it's ruled out that Partey's like one of my favorite players. If any of this is true, I want him out of the club immediately. I just want to say that I don't care about football. This stuff.
No, it's because his ex-girlfriend, isn't it?
I just don't think we can ignore it. And I think as Arsenal fans,
he's innocent. He's innocent. It was dropped. It wasn't even in Britain. It was over the middle. It was over in Europe. He used to go out with a Moroccan girl. He got with a Moroccan girl, and his ex didn't like it. So I think his ex put an allegation towards him. So then that's when Partey
then I'll fact check it or whatever.
You know, that's what it was, because it was over in Morocco. It all happened in Morocco.
You see the problem?
When his girlfriend went over there, his ex was saying that something because he got with this Moroccan girl. So because they had no evidence on it, they said, "What did he do to you?" And then on the day, the girl said, she was stuttering. Did he do anything to you? No, because he married some Moroccan girl. And I think his ex-girlfriend then, when they put up the courts and all that, well, they said you can't really allegate the player. He's come over here. He's defended himself. I think they threw it out.
You see, I think the thing with it, I think the thing what we've done is that with the Mason Greenwood situation, one of the reasons two reasons why that fell apart. Obviously, the person who made the complaint probably did make the complaint, and you know, I'm hearing rumours that the person who made the complaint is now his wife to be and now carrying his child. But the most important thing that will happen with, and the reason why clubs want to keep it quiet, is because the minute it gets in social media, and social media becomes judge and jury, and this ever gets to court, then a defence lawyer is going to say, sorry, I want this dismissed because he can't get a fair trial, because simple reason, there's aspects of the case that are being discussed where, you know, you've got to get a jury. And if I was a judge and went up to any of you guys on the jury and said, do you know have any of you guys got social media? Yes, I have. Do you know about the Partey case? Yes, I do. Oh, sorry, dismissed. And that's the whole situation. Is that when that's why the club keep them quiet, and that's why I say to say, if you want justice to be done, and you want it done properly, then social media needs to sort of turn it to leave it alone and leave it to the judges, because simple reason. The last thing you want is an innocent man being put behind bars or a guilty man getting free. But as long as we're on social media doing what we did in Mason Greenwood, then we can scream to scream. And don't get me wrong, you know, like peer pressure will probably say, yeah, let's get rid of him and blah blah. And that's definitely going to happen, no doubt about that, with peer pressure. But the fact is, if people think he's guilty and blah blah, it's too bad, because when you don't leave it in the court of law and you're judge and jury, no jury will be able to sit on the jury, because the simple reason is that whenever juries get a case, they need to be ignorant of the facts. They need to be told the facts within a court case, so they can know from the experts what's happened, not prejudge. With social media now, we're prejudging. That's why I can't see this go out of court now. regardless of what we think.
But it's like Kenny, it's like with that guy from Man City. He had 11 charges, and they said 6 of them come forward. 6 of them were fake allegations. You know, Mendes.
Oh, you're talking about Mendy. Yeah.
Mendy.
You see, the problem here is very simple.
Hard. It's difficult.
95% of footballers are all fucking assholes.
Yeah. We had it with so many legends of the past.
They're all coming from different backgrounds and they become multimillionaires. They're multimillionaires at the age of 20. Some even younger. You know what I mean? So they have this attitude about them that they're untouchable, that they can do whatever they want because of the power that they have from a very early age. And most of them are pricks. But the other side to that story, and this is no disrespect to women, Fran, by the way, I'm just saying this. If I was a professional football player, playing for Arsenal Football Club, and I was on £200,000 a week, I'm a multi-millionaire, I have everything I ever wanted. It'd be hard to meet, for me, it'd be hard to meet a woman and trust 100% that she's with me because of me and not with me because of who I am. And I think that there'll be a lot of cases that way. Now, I'm not making up excuses for these players, by the way. I'm just saying how I would feel, how I would think myself as an individual. But under no circumstances, and I don't care what walk of life you're in, you do not put a hand. I have a daughter, 13 years of age. If a man put his hand on her in any wrong way, I break his fucking neck and I go to jail. No problem. You do not put your hand on a woman. I don't care who you are. Secondly, if a woman don't want to have sex with you and she says no to that, it's no. End of story. You don't force yourself on a woman. So, and I'm not saying that party is innocent, party is not innocent. I don't know anything about it, so I'm not going to make that statement. But what I am going to say is this. If he is found guilty, and this goes for any player, out. Never to play football again.
Of course.
Take his fucking wealth off him and fuck him into jail for 20, 25, 30 years and let him rot in us. Because you do not do that. Because if he's guilty, and this goes for any walk of life, if a man rapes a woman or whatever the case may be and he's found guilty, why should that man just go to jail for 4 or 5 years? And the woman is left scarred for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So it's all wrong. The whole thing is wrong. But then again,
Kyle,
wrong.
Kyle,
changed in the last 10 years.
But Kyle, I relate what you're saying. 100% agree with you, 1,000,000%. But one thing you got to understand with social media is that they strive off the negative. Well, people didn't realise that Thomas Partey, when he went missing for that Man United game, was summoned to court. That's why he wasn't injured. He was summoned to court. You remember he was out for 3 weeks? He had a 3-week trial. And at the end of it, that girl come out and said he didn't do it. Jeremy, it's Fulham
game as well. Fulham as well. We were told he was in Fulham at home as well. I got speaking to a guy from America.
Yeah, it got dropped 3 months. It got dropped 6 months ago, but it never. When it got dropped, do you get me, Kane? When it got dropped, the case got dropped. It was all over. It got dropped.
But I think another person's come forward though. I think another person's come forward recently, and I think that's why it's been why again. Obviously, they're not mentioning the club, but we think we know it is. Other fans know it is, and that's why it's coming in.
I just didn't want us to be guilty, us lot, of ignoring it, because so many other people are just putting so much pressure on Arsenal fans to just acknowledge it and that sort of thing.
Have you ever been clubbing? I'll ask you, have you ever been clubbing with a footballer in a nightclub?
What? What's that?
No, seriously.
No.
Have you ever seen? No, because you see it different. You like it's something you experience. Something you realize in life, and you're like, whoa. If you ever, do you know when a footballer goes to a nightclub, like say for instance, when Rio Ferdinand was playing for Cardiff, bar 10. Do you know there's one side, there's a dance floor, and there's one side Rio Ferdinand. The dance floor was empty, and they're all trying to get him. Lucky he had security. That's what happens when footballers go out, and the reality is. They got the money. Everyone wants the fame. I'm not saying it's right, but then this is why they got judges, because when, say for instance, you're walking with your woman and she sees a celebrity you know, and you're a big fan. Like, say, you've seen Tom Hardy and he was there and about, you know, 90% of women see him in the street, they're going to run over to him. It happens. All right, or for Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever. It happens. It does happen. That's the reality of it. It does happen. Jeremy, so when these footballers go out, like in the West Ends in London, they get targeted at the same time as, you know.
I think at the end of the day, rival fans are going to want us to comment on it, but the reason why Arsenal fans can't really comment on it is because nothing is rock solid. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. All we can hope and pray for is that the legal system in England is going to go through its process, and if it's guilty, it's guilty. If it's innocent, it's innocent. I just hope that the victim from all this, they get exactly what they deserve, which is like a justice in the end of the day. And if Partey is guilty, then Partey, well, they're going to have to act accordingly. If he's innocent, he's going to have to learn a lesson from that and probably start moving a little bit more carefully. And I know but he shouldn't have to. Unfortunately, with being a superstar comes a whole bunch of different responsibilities.
It's hard for them, bro. It's hard for them, man.
Yeah, but I think the thing is that they're going to have to now, because I think what's happening now, 20 years ago, we had situations where there was, like, Fran, I'll cut my ears if I was you. I really cut my ears off.
What you're on about.
But 20 years ago, you had the roasting, this revolting roasting things, and that what was happening is that you all this sort of like rubbish, filth. Nowadays, is that football's changed now, because simple reason is that PR companies are now stamping out on this. Dare I say it, we have no more women presenters now who are commenting on football. With like I said, women PRs and blah blah. So there's a lot of women now involved in our game. So again, they're part of the situation regarding, and they run companies that do business with footballers, and plus a lot of football fans, female football fans, have a voice. So this revolting behaviour, it's not going to be acceptable no more. We can't turn a blind eye to it, and that's the same with the footballer. Footballers need better education there.
Yeah.
From the day, you're not going to change it, because the other day when you're a young bloke and women are throwing themselves at you and they're wearing skyscraper heels, they wearing like wigs that probably cost more than my month's salary, and they're going in their Saint-Tropez. I'm sorry, if you're a young bloke and you couldn't get a girlfriend before you became a footballer, you're gonna be tempted. You're gonna be tempted. You're gonna be tempted. But the whole situation is not every woman who wears skyscraper heels and has wigs that cost more than a month's salary and Joelle Saint-Tropez are like that. So you have to understand that just because they're wearing that sort of thing and they're having a good time and they're doing it there, if they say no, it's no. They can say yes. 50 times. But the one time they say no, it's no. It's a crime. And that's the whole situation with the education that people understand. There's no grey area when the word no is mentioned, and that's the situation. But again, the whole situation is that young men need better education. Like back in the day, they used to say, you know what, I like my best player to be married young and have 5 kids, but that way I know who he is. He's not involved in that sort of thing. Not all young people want to get married and married to their child sweetheart. They may want to think, you know what, I love my child sweetheart, but bloody hell, I've got soap stars, I've got glamour models, porno stars coming to me. What am I going to do? You know what I mean? And that's the thing. But it's the education's going to be better. But the thing about it is, what we can do as fans on social media is let justice take its course, because we don't want guilty men to go. We don't want guilty men to go to prison. We don't want. Sorry, we want guilty men to go to prison. We don't want innocent men to go. But at the end of the day, guilty men will get away if juries are dismissed, because judges don't think they can have a fair trial.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got.
Yeah,
and it is tough on soccer players and all too, because I want to go and speak about a bit of a personal situation for me. I did security for 12 years, and one of them jobs, part of that security, was taking care of famous bands, musicians. Like I did security for Ed Sheeran and stuff like that. But I remember one night in particular, I did it. You know the band. They're an Irish band called The Script. They'll be fairly famous now. I'm sure.
Yeah. I know.
And Danny is the lead singer. A nice man actually. But after the gig, they asked me to hang out with him, so I hung out with him, and we went down to a pub for a few beers. And I can honestly tell you here and now, I was a nobody going in there, but because of who I was with, I had an option. I could have had 20, 25 women that night, no problem, because of who I was with. Now, if we went in there and the lads, the Script were only an ordinary couple of lads like me, I can personally guarantee you we'd be all going home with a bag of chips at the end of that night. And that's the reality. So when you have fame and money behind you, women is not a problem. And if you're a young man, it will be quite difficult to turn your head to it. And that's from a man's point of view. I'm a man. And I tell you the truth, it's very hard to turn your head to a woman or showing attention. You know what I mean? So never mind. And these women be all supermodels, by the way, because of, you know, who you are and all the rest of it. So it will be. It's a tough environment to be in that way. But you have to be responsible for yourself. If you're a millionaire or just a man on social welfare,
exactly,
you have to be responsible for yourself, and you have to know when the thing is right and when the thing is wrong. And that's not education. That should be in here from a very early age, from your parent. You should know what's right and what's wrong. And if I have a woman lying in bed here with me tonight, and I'm dying for a bit of sex, and I said to her, are you on for a bit, blah, blah, and she turned to me and said, no. That's it. End of story. You know what I mean? That don't mean that I say, oh, fuck you, you're going to have it. That's it.
Nah, look,
end of
the day, common sense has to common sense has to prevail. Common sense has to prevail.
No,
there has to be respect.
And someone just put a comment in there. They say a lot of footballers get away with it. No, a lot of footballers don't get away with it. You got to understand that comment there. A lot of these people will love a big payout. There's a lot of people out there. They're called sharks. It happens in boxing. Do you know what I mean? You know that's why they dance. Like look, Eden Haaland. His dad protects him from all that. See his dad, he protects him from all that. Son, you ain't going out. Alex Ferguson used to be in Wales every time there was an international break because he used to say to Ryan Giggs, if you're not in your house at 8 o'clock, I'm driving down to pick you up and you're staying with me. From all that. Do you know what I mean? That back in the football days, they were protected from all that because you got to understand. I'm not saying all men like it, but there is people out there like that, and you got that's the reality. Well, that's the reality. There's sharks out there. So,
but you have to look. There are sharks out there, but as an everyday average human being, you can't be going around la-di-da. Everything's going to be hunky dory. You got to be wary of this.
But the social media don't help though.
No, that's not just like Kenny Ken said.
Social media don't help. You know, when people look at the reality is, everyone wants to live like a footballer. Everyone wants to live like a Kardashian. The reality is that don't happen. That's the reality.
No, and
if you're going to play that, and a lot of people play that in their minds, thinking that's reality. It's not. You can't go out there, like for instance, me as a man can't go out there and just go and get buy a 55,000 Rolex. I can't do that. That's the reality. No, some people can.
I think at the end of the
and if people are trying to deny lifestyle, that's when hunger gets in, and they'll do anything means necessary to get to that lifestyle.
And I think at the end of the day, that's where, as let's say a superstar, you have to be wary of all these things. You can't just turn a blind eye and think everything's going to be fine because you have something. You know, you're a footballer. At the end of the day, if he's found, yeah, I understand that, but I understand it. But you have to be careful. Look, if you're seeing it as a business, if you look at it as business, protect your business. If you know what I'm saying, protect your business. But I think, look, guys, on that, I think on that note, this stream has gone for fucking 2 and a bit hours, and I want to big up the chat. I want to big up my co-hosts, and I need Fran to push her channel, and then I need Fuad to push his channel. Then I need Kyle Walsh Gunner to push his channel because no one's fucking pushing their channel. Even though I've got these stupid subliminal messages going across the bottom of the screen, no one's doing their bit. I'm doing my bit. You guys aren't doing your bit.
Okay. I just wanted to say thank you. Yes. Sorry that we digressed into that. Sorry.
Nah, it's okay. No, look.
yeah, sometimes football and morals do it. Right, but sorry to get off the football, everyone.
No, it's fine.
So, oh wait, I might as well go then. Sorry about that.
No.
My name's Fran, otherwise known as Golart. So I have a website, I have Instagram, I've got my own channel, which I haven't been on much recently because I was doing a big old Trossard drawing. But yeah, big up. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been amazing talking with all you guys. It's been super respectful. We've got different opinions, but I think it was a model example of listening to each other and understanding. And yeah, it was just a brilliant stream. So everyone, please check out my art at Golart. So, and yeah, on to the next person.
Kyle, where can I find you, Kyle? Tell me, apart from in the corner in an alleyway trying to pick up Del Boy or find Del Boy behind the bin or some shit, where would they find you on YouTube? Not in the gutter.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say Del Boy has sent me 2 text messages in the last 5 minutes. He's stuck somewhere in some hotel. Now I'm gonna go and find him in this hotel.
I'm glad he's alive.
Oh fuck. Have we lost Kyle? Oh shit.
So
I think Kyle's back.
I'm gonna go look for Del Boy now. But the thing is, when I find him, I'm sure that we're going on another adventure today, so it's not going to be good. But anyway, Steve, big up to you, man, for having me on the yarn. Absolutely brilliant, top class as usual. Fran, great to share the screen, listen to the opinions. It's brilliant to have a discussion. Prince, you're my man. I have to still buy you those 4 milkshakes at the end of the season, hopefully. And Kenny Kane, the legend himself, great to have a chat and a conversation as always, Kenny Kane. And I think I could be singing tomorrow night with Jades for an Arsenal quiz. So that's right.
I need to do some revision.
So take it easy on me, Kenny.
Don't worry.
Yeah?
We won't ask Fuad anyway. Fuad don't know much about football anyway.
Kyle, get on your Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll text you the answers.
No, actually, Fuad knows his stuff because I put in the chat a few times some players. And I thought, how the hell does Fuad got that one? But yeah, Fuad knows.
Yeah,
you know what? I've got about 4 wrong, about 2 wrong in it. The one of them you had me on.
Yeah,
was,
the ones I thought you'd get right, you got right. Like difficult ones, you got right.
Yeah. When you said 76, I knew straight what you were on about then. He pickles my head, man, because he puts them out there on Instagram. So I see this. I got to get this one. So I guess the first one. Guess it'd be like 76. I get it right then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and you'll get me on the Kyle Walsh gunner. And the last video I posted was there 2 days ago about that fraud, Ozil, an absolute disgrace of a man. And so I'll be putting up more content, and I'm learning about StreamYard to do my own live shows, to invite all you fellas and girls onto my chat, and it's going to be explosive because I just want to cause havoc on us, and that's it. So that's where we are. Steve, big up to you, man, for having me on the channel. Always a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure, Kyle. Fuad, where are you on YouTube?
The most controversial Arsenal fan person on the planet, isn't it? You catch me on Prince Fuad TV on YouTube. Prince Fuad on Instagram. I'm there on the ball. I'll be quiet for a few weeks, but I'm just, you know what I'm doing? I'm holding it down.
You haven't been quiet. You be causing bloody. I'll be at matches, Arsenal matches, and my phone would go off during the games, and you've been pissing off a few people with your comments. And then you'll be saying, "Oh, I'm going to show the lot of you. You lot don't care. You lot are going to be saying sorry to me." And you've been quite my arse. You've been causing a lot. You've been arguing with loads of people.
And because
you're causing World War III, Prince, on that.
I know.
That chat.
I'm trying to watch the game. I'm in the stadium, and all I hear is bing, 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 bing. What's going on here?
And it's Fuad chatting shit. Fuad, so you just caught out for talking shit. You can't do it on the fucking yarn. Everyone's going to call you out for your bullshit.
No. They what it is, before kickoff, I'm not going to say no names. It's not Kyle or Kenny. I got a certain individual who says, no chance you're going to... I think, all right, here's my chance to target him. Bam, it starts. And they all rattles in. Before the game starts, we've lost the game, innit? And I can't sit back and allow that to happen. So
you can't let anyone get away with fucking with Arsenal dropping points before we even kick the fucking ball.
I'll drop my last one.
It was funny before a Crystal Palace game where, we found out Rob Holding was started. So I came early to the ground and Fuad, they were having arguments. I could see Rob Holding having individual training with Gabriel and with the defensive coach. So I was reporting back to you and Grace and go, oh yeah, I could see Rob Holding right now. He's having one-on-one tuition with with Gabriel, and they're doing their like drills together. And I could see him look at the thing, and you go, and that's when Fuad. I don't know. I started a train of events. Fuad started saying, "I told you so, kid." I said, "Yeah, shut up! Don't mention me. I'm just telling you what's going on."
Honestly, I found out Holding was starting, and Nigerian Englishman from One Touch TV goes, "Oh my God, Holding starting!" And I'm watching Palace, and I'm like, "You got nothing to worry about." He goes, "Are you sure?" I go, "100%. Don't worry about it. The game's going to be. We've already got our 3 points. Don't worry about it. Are you sure?" I go, "I'm 100% sure. Forget about it." And we got that. Kenny Ken, where are you? Where can they find you?
At Kenny Ken 1972 Instagram. That's all. I don't. Like I said, in terms of YouTube, it's a massive, massive job that you guys do, and massive job. And I look, and on the content you guys pull out, it's entertaining, it's very good, and it's your own opinion, it's yours. Yeah, Dave. Once, as I said before, social media is giving you a great opportunity to do what you want and be who you want. And my advice to everyone else is that, we're not a school. We don't wear a school uniform, a school tie, or school hat, or school blazer. We're all our own person, mate. We've left school now. We're not part of the cool club. End of the day, if anyone wants to change my opinion, I'll give you my sort card within a bank account number, and you can pay for my season ticket. It's all yours, mate. I'll do anything you want to if you pay for my season ticket and my away games. I'll change for you if you want.
You'll wear whatever clothing you want, anything. You can wear hats.
You pay for my season ticket, and you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll be even nicer. You can pay for me travel as well.
There you go.
So that's it. I'm yours.
and a meal. Come on, you
got food. Like food with all the money I'm saving my season ticket. I'll be able to afford food, didn't it?
Oh, guys, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys on this yarn. It's been an absolute great show. And honestly, we covered a lot. And this is the best thing about a yarn. And this is what I say to everyone on the yarn. I only ever write about 3 questions because I know it's going to go left, right, or center. And that's the best thing about this. And in Australia, when we sit down, we're just having a yarn. This is exactly what happens in a yarn. You sit down and have a few drinks, and then hours go by just chatting this, that, and all of the above. But look, to everyone in the chat, please check out the link, check out the description of this vid. Everyone's links are in there. If you haven't smashed a like, smash a like. Please subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. That's why you're going to know what the fuck's going on. And look, from the Aussie Gooner, from my co-hosts, from Arsenal, it's Uru, guys. It's Uru.
Good day.